Welcome to the Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Zach Kopp, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to a special live edition of the Dawgs Podcast. Here to cover the first round of the 2022 NFL Draft. We have all four dogs in the studio for the first time in what feels like forever. We also have producer Kyle in the house.
All right,
Kyle.
He's here to help with all the, bear with us if there's any hiccups when you go live. Sometimes there's some issues, but we got PK in the house to help with any problems. We're going to be here for as much of this first round as possible. At least some of us. Some of us have work in the morning, early in the morning. One of us has a newborn child. I may get a text that says, "Hey, you've been gone long enough. Please come home. I'm dying." So then I might have to bounce. But we're going to try to stick this out and be here for as long as we can. Hopefully, the NFL does us a favor and they speed it along. We'll be here for at least a little while. We're going to get into everything. We're going to try to keep this as Browns-centric as possible because we know that's what you guys want. We're all Browns fans. But obviously, we're going to talk about the draft. Before we get into what we want to talk about before the start of the draft, though, I got to remind you guys to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed already, please do it. It helps us out a ton. Make sure you tap the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. If you prefer to just listen to the regular episodes when we're not live, you can find us on Apple, Spotify, and Google. Big shout out to everybody who left us a review while we're doing the contest. We'll be announcing the winner of the free Browns jersey contest tonight live. If you enter that contest, make sure you tune in so you can hear that you won. Everybody who did enter, we will be replying to your address. Is anybody who entered
sticker, but we can't send it to you if we don't know where to send it. So if you get an email from bark@thedawgspodcast.com, please reply. That way we can send you your reward. If not, there's nothing we can do about it. Lastly, if you're looking for more Browns content, more Dawgs content, head to jointhedawgs.com. Become an official Dog Pack member on our Patreon page. We have a ton of fun on there. We had fantasy leagues last year. Did one of us win the leagues?
I absolutely won the league.
Justin won one of the leagues.
Sure, Zach wasn't me.
I don't know why we forgot already, and but yes. Yeah.
So one of the dogs won the league. The way the leagues worked is the highest finishing Patreon members in each league all got free Dawgs merch. So the more people we get, the more leagues we can have. So if that's something that interests you, join. We also have threads going in there all the time. For some of the people, there's a text message chain that's literally 24/7 football. There's people in Ireland. I think we're going to hear from somebody from Scotland tonight who's going to be calling in all the way out to San Diego. We got a couple people up in Canada. It's pretty global. It's a pretty crazy thing. So if that interests you, jointhedawgs.com, become an official Patreon member. It helps us out a ton. It's a ton of fun for everybody. You also get a free after hours episode every single week where it's a little bit more laid back. We've talked about everything from Star Wars to Marvel to football. It gets pretty loose in there, and it's a lot of fun for everybody. So if that interests you, like I said, jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. And with that, let's kick off draft coverage this year. First of all, it's good to see you guys. I haven't seen some of you guys in kind of a while.
You walked by my house like 2 days ago.
Well, besides him, it's just maybe it's just because we haven't all been together.
Yeah, I've been very MIA, for sure.
But so what are you guys looking to see out of the Browns tonight? I know we had some voicemails we wanted to get to. I guess I should start this off too. If you want to call into the show tonight, send an email to bark@thedawgspodcast.com. We will reply to that email. When you email us, tell us your name and where you're from, if you don't mind. And we will send you the link to call in. When you call in, you can tell us who you think the Browns should take and why. Do you think we should trade back? Do you think we should trade up? Just tell us what you think the Browns should do in this year's draft. Give us a little bit of your input. You can call in for a minute. You can call in for 5 or 10 minutes. It's up to you. The more, the merrier. Help us fill time. Obviously, everybody knows there's a lot of downtime in the draft between picks. So the more people we can get to call in, the better. bark@thedawgspodcast.com. Send us an email where we'll reply with the link. I'll say that a couple more times throughout the show so you guys remember it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do we want to start with an email then before we get into or a voicemail? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure. Let me just kind of let's kick it off with this one. I guess I can't play him. Kyle, can you hit cut 1 for me, please?
What up, Dawgs? Nick Bowman here from Wayne County, Ohio. I'm just wondering what would be the best option or options to trade Baker. heading into draft week. Thanks, guys.
So obviously we're not heading into draft week. We're on draft night.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Baker's still on the team.
Are you guys surprised by that at all?
No, because I don't think that they were in any hurry to just give him away. They're trying to get as much value as they can for him. Now, whether that's going to be anything great for us, but they at least wanted to get something in return. And really, I didn't see them cutting him just to cut him and just let him walk and go wherever he wants.
No.
Yeah.
Unless that's like the only option we're left with, which who knows, it might be at some point. But I'm not that surprised that he's still on their team in draft night. Now, he might not be here all weekend.
Yeah.
That could be a story. So
Are you guys surprised at the lack of a market? And do you think it has more to do with the way the Browns have handled it, or do you think it has more to do with the way the league views Baker? What do you guys think it's more of?
I just kind of think like right now, and I'm not saying he doesn't have a market. I think that there's a lot of NFL teams that he could go and be a starter and be probably better than some of the guys. Not a lot, but for sure some. So for me, I feel like it's just more of like an opportunity. I think teams are kind of just playing it out because they know the Browns are kind of stuck with him right now. They can't. I mean, honestly, that's the best way to describe it. Like,
Can't give him away.
yeah, they're like, yeah, we'll take him, but as long as you pay that $19 million, and Brown's like, no thanks, I'm cool. Call me later.
Right.
What do you think, Zach?
I think there's a lot of teams that are. I think there's still like, I wouldn't say a lot of teams. I'd say there's probably like 3 or 4 teams that are still interested in Baker, but at the same point, they're not wanting to give up a bunch to get him if they don't have to. And a lot of those teams maybe aren't sold on him being their franchise quarterback, but maybe like a stepping stone that could get them, through the next couple years until they find a guy. It's hard to tell if, that's how they're thinking. Maybe there's some teams, the couple of the reports are saying if a team doesn't get their quarterback on night 1 here in the draft, that now they might be a little more eager to go after him, on day 2, day 3, going, this weekend. So I don't know. I don't know if it's that they don't believe in Baker as much as they're just holding out because everybody's been holding out, and they know the Browns are done with him. I mean, the Browns have signed, 3 quarterbacks this offseason, so the Browns are done with Baker. So a lot of teams might be waiting on that. Well, let's see if they cut him, and then we'll go get him for super cheap.
Yeah.
So I think with that logic, though, that kind of tells you the way the league views him. When Amari Cooper, everybody knew Amari Cooper was available. We had a talk on the show about should we trade for him before he hits the open market so there's not a bidding war.
Right. Yeah.
And teams are hoping we'll just cut Baker because they don't anticipate a bidding war.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that in a way, it's kind of telling you what the league thinks of him. The market's just, I think Baker is, serviceable. The problem is I just don't think he's head and shoulders above anybody. And so why would you sign him? You know what I mean? If you can win, for example, like up in Seattle, if you can win 5 games with Drew Lock, what does Baker get you? 7? So why bring him in for the 2 extra when you can just have a crap year this year and draft a quarterback next year? I think
It's a fair point.
Yeah, I mean, and then you have the factor, too, that currently right now, Baker, if you trade for him, he comes with a little bit of baggage, almost like that, it used to be, it was like the Tim Tebow effect that was, when he was moving around and he was a winner, but then you had the drama of all the reporters are going to be asking him all these, it's going to be a media frenzy for whoever does get Baker. And, their press conference when they trade, I mean, it'll be huge news when that happens. So maybe some teams are just like, hey, I don't want to deal with that headache. I saw how things kind of worked there in Cleveland. Everything was really good, and it took 1 year, and now everything's sour, and nobody wants them around. So I don't know. There could be teams that are just like, like Blake said, we'll pass.
Well, it's kind of like, I hope I'm saying this right, Ara on YouTube here said they don't want to pay for him. They don't want him, or they want him cheap, but he has a big mouth too. Goes right in line with what you were saying.
The media thing's a big deal, especially if he's going to be a backup for a year. You don't want people to really know who your backup is. You know what I mean? You want him to just kind of be silent. He shows up. He knows the playbook, but nobody should really know who he is unless he has to come in under like a bad situation. If Baker's your backup, like Zach said, there's going to be a media circus.
I think it depends on who he's the backup for. Like if he goes to Tampa Bay or something like that, I promise you it'll be very quiet in Tampa Bay. Very quiet.
I don't know.
yeah.
You think they can quiet him down?
I think that guy, number 12, probably could have just a little bit of input on that.
That's
Just
why
a-
I don't know if he goes. I don't think he goes there.
I don't know. I mean, who knows? I feel like every team's got a pretty decent chance if they really wanted to.
I feel
do
like
it.
I feel like the stars are aligning for him to be cut and then end up in the division somewhere.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
That's
Really
what
don't want
everybody's
that to
talking
happen,
about.
but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
that's the.
I do not buy that for a second. I'm not trying to be mean, but there's no way Pittsburgh played against this guy 2 times a year the last 4 years, and now
beat
they
him.
want him on their team. There's no way. There's no way.
I don't know.
He played some of his absolute worst games against them. Now he played well in the playoff win, but for a majority of his games against Pittsburgh, it has been awful. There's no way they want him.
So, hey, Kyle, throw this one up on the screen. So we got a nice comment from Gabe Flippy.
Gabe Flippy.
Oh.
That's a name I haven't heard in quite some time.
That's right, buddy. He said it's not good when your personality eclipses your skills on the field.
Yeah.
So we kind of talked about that a lot with Aaron Rodgers. He causes a lot of BS up there in Green Bay,
He's a
but
first
then he
ballot
wins
Hall of Famer.
13 games a year. So
Right.
you put up with it.
Yeah, and 2-time MVP.
Yep.
You can only put up with that off the field crap if it's worth it. You know, Terrell Owens, the receiver, you only put up with him because he was awesome on the field. As soon as his skills started to diminish, you notice nobody was willing to put up with him anymore.
No.
Right.
So we'll see what happens with Baker. I do think there's a solid chance we trade him this weekend. I don't think it's tonight though, because I don't see no team's giving up a first round.
No, he's not a first round trade bait.
So nobody's giving, but I do think best bet. I think there's only maybe one first round quarterback. It's going to be very interesting. You're going to see these teams possibly reach on some guys. But Willis is kind of like been tapped as like the lock first round guy, I guess. And I think we just have to kind of hope he doesn't go to one of these teams that have been kind of talked about as a landing spot for Baker. If Carolina doesn't get him, that kind of thing, then I think you could see them start to be more aggressive in trying to get Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I think you might see. The thing is quarterbacks every year.
Yep.
And there's always picks. It's not just quarterback. There's every position. You're like, who's that guy? You know, he wasn't projected as a first, maybe even a second rounder sometimes, but there's going to be quarterbacks going in this first round.
Yeah.
You're going to see
I think
it.
there's two for
Kenny
sure.
Pickett.
Yep.
Is the other guy.
I think Willis and Pickett. I think they're going.
I think it's crazy that we're having this conversation about Baker when last year we were sold that he was the guy on draft night.
Yeah.
We're like, thank goodness we don't gotta
so nice.
we don't gotta worry about drafting a quarterback.
Now, I will say it's nice for 2 years in a row. We don't have to worry about
Right,
drafting
that's
a
true.
quarterback.
That's
true.
Also, yeah.
You know what I
for
mean?
the foreseeable future.
For the foreseeable
Yeah.
future, we don't have to worry about drafting a quarterback, which is nice. Which I think we'll get into talk about that. Before we get too far into the draft stuff, some more current Browns news that we needed to talk about that we haven't had an episode since it happened. But Denzel,
Well, here, let me kick. I guess I can't do it. I'm sorry, Kyle. Cut 4. Kenny Mack is asking about Denzel Ward, and that'll kick off your question.
okay,
here.
cool.
Hey guys, I'm pumped up for Denzel Ward. We got some OSU in the land for 5 more years. Just wondering what the deal is with him, though. Great player, kind of under the radar, and I don't see many jerseys. What's your thoughts?
So I think Denzel Ward is actually, I don't want to call him polarizing, but I think he's sneaky good. Like he said, under the radar. First of all, big shout out to Kenny Mack. He's at the draft tonight. Hopefully going to call in live from the
Hope
draft. Repping a Dawgs podcast shirt out in
Yes.
Vegas. So awesome.
Hey,
Kenny
speaking
Mack.
of Dogs podcast shirts, go to the dogspodcast.com/store and get yourself some nice shirts. Deshaun Watson player shirts. There's some other
very
dog
dope.
shirts
I
on
like
there.
that shirt.
Yeah, there's a
Very dope.
Nick Chubb's on there. JOK.
Yeah,
I like them all.
I've been working.
we got some cool shirts. I think he's a little polarizing because for some reason some Browns fans aren't. You got some fan base who think he's the best corner in the league, which I think he's really good.
He's really good.
He's probably he's up there. I don't know if he's number one. And then you have some Browns fans who think he's too small, he can't tackle, and he misses too many games, which we've gone over before.
Yep.
He doesn't really miss that many games.
No, and I've said to multiple people, I think it's because of how good he is when he's on the field that when he misses a game or two, it feels like 4.
A lot, yeah.
Because you're seeing guys getting picked apart out there because you don't when he's on the field, it doesn't happen.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean it was a big contract. Obviously, he's now the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. So they didn't spare any money, and Andrew Berry's just kind of gone out there and has locked up everybody that we've kind of needed to for the next, 4 or 5 years. So where we were kind of like saying this past season, well, our window's now, and we've kind we have extended it, Denzel's a core piece. But I will agree that, like how he said that there's not, you don't see as many jerseys. He is kind of an under the radar type of a player that isn't going to show up, and make a whole bunch of plays. He's not the guy who's going to lead the league in interceptions, but he's also not targeted.
They don't throw at him.
Right. So that goes a little bit unnoticed too.
I think I saw against like a quarterback rating when he's the primary defender, he's like one of the top in the league. As far as like the quarterback's rating is bad.
Yeah, and I saw. Did you see the? I should have screenshotted it.
I got it right here. So last season as a primary defender against Jamar Chase, Rookie of the Year, 2 targets, 2 picks,
and that's in 2 games.
In 2 games,
Yep,
okay,
99-yard touchdown.
Yep. Against Devontae Adams, arguably the best receiver in the game, 3 targets, 2 catches, 50 yards. I mean, Devontae puts up 150 on everybody. And then versus Justin Jefferson, also very good. Probably top 10 wide receiver in the league. 2 targets, 1 catch, 31 yards.
Yep.
That was as the primary defender last season. Now, there were times early in the season last year that we thought maybe Denzel was struggling a little bit. I put more of that on Joe Woods, was still kind of figuring out the system he wanted to run with all these new guys, especially about 4, 5, 6 games in. Denzel Ward became, he was lights out. That play against Cincinnati, where the dude came out to try to block him and he slid under the guy to make the tackle. I mean, that play is insane. So good for Denzel Ward. And like you guys said, a lot of people were screaming about all this guaranteed money we gave Watson. Our like core 8, 9 guys are locked on this team for the next 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
I think the crazy thing too is I've seen a lot of people like say, what a stupid contract. We paid him so much money. Like, where's all this money coming from? The salary cap is about to go up like $40 million just this next year once all those contracts, those TV contracts, Amazon's coming through.
That's a huge point.
People are missing that, and they're like, I can't believe we signed
this
Deshaun
money's
Watson.
in
this is
4
nothing.
years from now is going to be
we're going to say,
steal.
how did Andrew Berry get Denzel locked up for 5 years on this dollar amount per year?
Well, look,
crazy.
a lot of people were saying, when we traded for Amari Cooper, first of all, we fleeced the Cowboys, no matter what anybody says.
I don't care. Yeah.
And then they're paying him $20 million. What are they paying Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams,
Christian Kirk?
Christian Kirk?
Yeah.
I mean, it took 2 weeks for the Amari Cooper deal to look like a discount for the Browns.
Yeah.
So Andrew Berry, he's so good at being smartly aggressive. He does it early. And then it pays off because if you're the first team there, then now you don't have to be the guy who goes over top of that previous contract. The next corner who gets paid, now if he's any good, he's going to want more than $70 million guaranteed.
Yep.
So we're and that's why all these teams are mad about the Watson deal.
Oh,
They're like Joe Burrow and
because those contracts aren't up yet.
Yes, and now they didn't
rough.
sign that. Yeah, now Joe Burrow's going to be going, I've been to a Super Bowl. So where's my $230 million, guaranteed? So they're just mad at the Browns. They're peanut butter and jealous. They hate us because they ain't us. It's going to be it's a discount almost.
Yeah.
We fleeced the Texans to get Deshaun Watson. Our team is literally owned by a billionaire. Money means nothing. I know there's a salary cap, but you're trying to win a Super Bowl. You will push that down the road as long as you can to stay in your Super Bowl window. Then once you win it, you might have a rebuilding year or two, but guess what? It's a lot easier to rebuild when you're coming off your Super Bowl victory.
Yeah, well, and also you always talk about the New Orleans Saints. They were in salary cap misery, right? They're in jail. They couldn't do anything, and all of a sudden they cleared up millions of dollars, and they could do whatever they want. It's like
in 20 minutes.
Yeah,
they thought they were getting Watson, and all of a sudden they had $40 million in cap space free,
right?
Without cutting anybody.
Yeah, just restructured everybody.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be okay, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just calm down. Andrew Berry, I think, has proven to be one of the best young GMs in all of football.
So far, man, he hasn't missed much. And some of the draft picks really is about the only things that you could say. Maybe Austin Hooper. But other than that, I mean, the way he's filled the holes each offseason has been just incredible.
J-Dog on here says AB gets Eagles 18th pick for Baker, or Steelers will make move on Baker in first. If we get the 18th pick for Baker, Andrew Berry,
Build that statue right now. I'll touch it every time I walk into that stadium.
Yes. And
I wish that was going to be true.
And I don't think we would willingly trade him to division rival.
No.
Even if we don't know if he's going to be the starter, I just don't think we trade him to a division rival.
Yeah, I mean, one of those asterisks under that trade would be the Browns are paying his contract for this year.
Right.
Yes, I mean, it's crazy things like that would have to happen for the Browns to even be in a chance to get into the first round with Baker included, and it's probably including like our second round pick this year.
And we're paying $10 million of Baker's salary.
Yeah, it's
and we gotta buy his bus ticket to Pittsburgh. Like, there's a lot of fine-tuned little writing, contract stuff, lots.
right.
Look at Roger Goodell's getting chummy up on stage with Ice Cube, so that's weird. The draft's getting ready to officially kick off.
Hey, one last thing I will say about Denzel Ward, though, as far as Kenny was saying about the under the radar, you don't see a lot of jerseys. For a high-paid, high-profile cornerback, he doesn't run his mouth like a lot of these guys do. So he doesn't chirp, he doesn't talk, so he's not getting himself out there noticed like that. And, I mean, cornerback is one of the most pivotal positions on the football field, but it's not the sexiest. And you know, if you're going to get a jersey, you're going to go get the quarterback. You're going to get the wide receiver, the running back.
I will say this: up until this year, Baker was very popular.
Yeah,
so a lot of Baker jerseys, and I think the most popular Cleveland Brown is Nick Chubb.
Oh, for sure.
So then you got Myles Garrett.
You know what I mean? He's competing with some pretty high-profile Cleveland players. You know, as far as jersey sales go. They want to know who's going to go first. Is it going to be Hutchinson, or is somebody going to go crazy?
We kind of talked about it a little bit.
We talked about it off the show. I didn't watch a ton of college football this year. I'm going to be straight up honest. I'm relying on you guys to kind of help me with some of this stuff. Like I said, newborn, didn't get to do as much research as I wanted. But I watched a decent amount of Michigan football this year because they're Big Ten, so they're on local TV. Aiden Hutchinson dominated every single football game I watched him play in. Every single game. I picked Ohio State to lose to Michigan this year because of him. And he dominated the Buckeyes. So I don't know. I think if you don't pick him, it's one of those cases of overthinking. And all this talk about how he might not be going number one, is that just typical draft, sending out smoke, that kind of thing? Who knows? We'll see. We got about 9 minutes and 27 seconds.
So if you want to fill that, Kyle just said that Ara on YouTube wants to call in.
Okay.
Where's he from? Scotland? Is that what you said? I don't know.
Scotland.
I thought that's what Kyle was.
It's getting close to my home roots.
Scots man.
Scots man. Okay.
Yeah, bring him in if you can. If he's there. Is he there? Not there yet. Okay.
Okay.
But, so the question was, who do we think is going first?
I'm probably going to back you on this.
All right. The kind of the late favorite, I would say, right now in Vegas. Funny. That's where it's at. But Trayvon Walker out of Georgia, edge rusher. He's a junior. He was kind of like a top 10 pick, more later in the top 10. And then recently he's just been gaining all kinds of ground. Of a lot of people think he's going to go number one.
Yeah.
You got him. You got Hutchinson, like Blake mentioned, who is just a freak talent to have, at that position. You're getting for Ohio State, you're getting like a Joey Bosa type of a guy that you can rely on. They're gonna have to game plan against him, and he's gonna be ready to go day one.
And that kills me to say too, because I'm not a Michigan fan.
Right.
I hate Michigan. But that dude, like I said, he dominated every game I watched him play this year. He dominated.
Yeah, and I asked you guys before we went on the air, like, do you guys realize how big he really is? He's 6'7".
It's crazy. I did not realize
I didn't realize he was that big either, yeah.
6'7", 260 coming off the edge. So he's a guy, that's been talked about. And then Thibodeau, I think is his name. From Oregon.
Yep.
He is, being compared to almost like a Khalil Mack type of player. That is also up there. And there's a lot of people saying that if Hutchinson doesn't go one, don't be surprised if he falls all the way to 3, that the Lions really like Thibodeau out of Oregon.
You what? All right, we got our first guest.
We got our first guest. We're going to bring him in. Are we going to be able to see him or just hear him?
Hear him for now.
Okay. Hey, it's Ara, right? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome, man. Where are you from?
I'm from just outside Edinburgh.
Is it Scotland?
Yep.
What time is it out there right now?
It's quarter past one in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
Boy,
yeah.
Boy.
You got to work in the morning?
No, I've got 3 days off.
That boy.
Yeah, there you
Well
go.
played,
Kick it off
brother.
here.
Well played.
Man, we're super pumped to have you call in, man. This is awesome. Halfway around the world calling into our show. We really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. So what did you want to say on the show?
Well, my big thing was about asking the first pick.
Okay.
And then
Who do you think's going to go one?
I think they're going to go nuts. I think they're going to go Walker.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's been
wait.
the big thing. Yeah, I agree with you.
I think they're nuts. I think Jacksonville's going to be. One sec. I keep getting. Can hear myself back.
Oh, okay.
Are you getting some feedback?
Yeah. It's more the. I think they're going to be the.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What were you saying?
It's going to be. Sorry, it's really disconcerting.
Don't
to
worry
hear
about it,
myself.
man. We did a whole episode with a guy where he had feedback the whole time.
Yeah.
And
If you
I'm with you, bro.
We're working on it on our end. If you can ignore it, we can. It sounds good on our end. So if you can fight through it,
So it's going to be like the. It's really weird. Sorry, guys.
It's all good. You know what? Hey, Kyle, can you just put him in the queue real quick? We'll bring him back and we'll try to figure out what's
Sorry
going on.
about that.
no,
No,
you're
you're
good.
good,
Hey,
bro.
we're gonna get you figured out. We'll get you right back on here.
Tech on live. This is fun, right?
Like I said, obviously we're doing this live. We don't do a ton of live episodes where people get to call in. Obviously we're not ESPN, so we got to work on our own technical difficulties on the fly here. So we appreciate you guys being patient with us. Again, if you do want to call into the show, send an email to bark@thedogspodcast.com. Producer Kyle will respond to your email with the link. Just tell us who you are and where you're from so we know who we're going to be talking to. We'll get these issues figured out. We want to get as many people on here as we can. I think it's super cool to talk to people from literally all over the world, so this is awesome. Ryan Green, fans around the world, good work. Thank you, Ryan Green. Appreciate you tuning in.
just so you know, Kenny Mack did just message me, said that he's at the draft. He wants to try to call in.
Absolutely.
It's really loud out there, so maybe he won't have to hear himself, but we might not be able to hear
He'll
him
hear
either. I
everybody
don't
else,
know.
yeah. The pick's
that'd
in.
be fun.
The
The pick is in. So here we go. First pick. We'll
In
see how long it takes.
12 minutes from now,
I'm
we'll
gonna go.
get-
Yeah, I'm gonna go way out on a limb here, and I don't think they're gonna take either one of those guys.
Really?
So you say not Walker
Not Walker.
and not Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they
Well, if it
hired
was
Doug
Urban Meyer, it'd be a running back.
They hired Doug Peterson, offensive coach. I just don't think there's any offensive players worthy of the number one pick this year.
No, and
Watch out for Neal, the offensive tackle.
Evan
Left
Neal.
tackle.
Yeah.
Evan Neal. Yep, that is my pick.
6'8",
Sneaky.
6'8", 335-pound.
Big guy.
I mean, it
Guy
wouldn't be
out
a
of
bad
Alabama.
idea.
Trevor Lawrence, you're a guy that just got beat up all last year, but
Yeah, it was a rough year for the
yeah.
kid.
So I don't know. We'll see.
I will say this. I think it's kind of crazy that there's no quarterback in the PFF top 25. I
No,
don't know if I've ever seen that before. Didn't you say there wasn't a quarterback, in the top 32?
I said there's only, well, you're right. Out of the top 25, there's no quarterbacks. The only quarterback even in the first round projected or ranked for PFF is Malik Willis all the way at 30. So he's almost not even in the first round of guys in the top 32. And that's it. Then the next guy is Kenny Pickett, and he is, I'm wrong. It's Sam Howell at 34.
Pickett is kind of far down. Pickett's way down.
Well, it's those baby hands.
I'm with you,
All right,
man.
well, I'm getting my notifications ahead of the feed here. So.
Hold
it was,
up, hold
it was
up.
like
Hang
that.
on.
I got that Hulu Live delay going on, apparently. If you have Hulu Live, don't do it. Just take my word on it, please.
Well, who do you think they took then?
Neal.
All right,
Evan
I
Neal?
won't say
I'm
it.
going to say Hutchinson. Just don't be stupid.
Well, why can't we be ahead of the
Yeah.
ESPN?
I want to see it. This is the first pick, man. Let me
All right,
enjoy my
fine.
life.
Let me live a little.
Hold up, everybody. We got to wait for Blake.
Here comes the first pick,
Shut your
Roger,
eyes.
one of my least favorite humans in the world.
Oh, wow. Hey,
Trayvon
there you
Walker.
go. I mean,
Okay. I mean,
Well,
you're getting a guy that's
Yeah.
he 4.5 speed in the 40 to be on your defensive side of the football. Jaguars need a lot of help.
yeah,
They need a lot of help.
I'm gonna say this though. Didn't you say though? Where was he ranked? Like 13th or something like that.
Yeah, he's like the
12 on PFF.
So to me, this is one of those. He looked good in shorts. Did his workouts, and they started to fall in love with the workout hero as opposed. I mean, I'm sure he's productive on the field, but I don't know. To me,
PFF has
I
him,
didn't see anybody. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson was a Heisman finalist
I
on
know.
defense.
I would have gone Hutchinson myself, but they've got PFF says that Walker is comp to Rashawn Gary, which that's not a bad comp.
yeah.
Number 1 overall. I don't know, but
All right,
that's Jacksonville.
so that hurts the Lions a little bit because I know they liked Hutchinson because he was a Michigan native, obviously. Do you think their pick's already in, so they knew who they were going? Who do you think they're going here? Oh you think they're going to go Hutchinson?
I don't know. See, I've heard the Thibodeau guy out of Oregon's been their guy. Regardless what happened at 1, he was their guy.
Really?
Unless he was on at 1.
Yeah, right. Well, but I don't think he wasn't even in the talks of going
was like
1.
a
So
top 5
I
guy,
think
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's where they go.
I need these teams to do me a favor, though. Please don't let a guy like Hutchinson slip to
The
Baltimore,
Steelers. Baltimore,
or
yeah.
the Steelers.
I don't see that
Can
happening,
you
man.
guys do us a favor and maybe let's get him in the NFC? We got enough to worry about in the AFC. We don't need another top edge rusher on a good team. Can we get him out of there because that's just the kind of thing that happens. These players slide to the Ravens or the Steelers, then they get picked, and then they wreck the Browns for the next 10 years, a.k.a. T.J. Watt.
Yeah, I mean the Lions, they are another team. Obviously, they're picking second in the draft, so they need a lot of help. But they're looking at their team needs coming into the draft weekend: linebacker, wide receiver, cornerback, defensive line, safety. I mean, they got a lot of defensive needs. Here, the only player that they went out and kind of got free agency, they got DJ Chark. Quarterback wise, they still got Jared Goff, but they're probably not sold on him. So this is a team that you could see taking a quarterback later on, but but if there was a quarterback available here that was like a consensus top pick, I mean, this is probably one of the spots because they wouldn't want 1.
So I just got the pick on my.
Yeah, I got it on the PFF tracker.
But the thing is, I mean, we are a little bit delayed on YouTube anyway, so by the time we talk about it,
Maybe
they're probably already seen it on
Go
TV.
ahead.
So Aiden Hutchinson,
Number 2, Aiden.
number 2.
I do want to revisit the PFF, and you can love them or hate them. Sometimes I agree with what they say, sometimes I don't. They got this as below average, the Walker pick at number 1. They're saying there were schematic reasons why he didn't put up gaudy numbers at Georgia, but there's still plenty of risk involved with taking a player at number 1 overall who never cleared a 75 PFF grade or 10% pressure rate in 3 seasons with the Bulldogs. Again, it seems to me like one of those things where they're taking him for his potential and they like that he was fast and that kind of things at his pro day. To me, I'm going to take on-field production over traits and looking good in shorts every day of the week.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of that with wide receivers too.
Yeah.
These guys that run straight line fast and shorts, that's awesome. What do they do on the field?
Yeah. Anthony Schwartz, for example. There isn't 4 or 5 people in the league faster than Anthony Schwartz, but there's probably about 100 receivers you would take over him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no disrespect to Schwartz, we're hoping to see a big jump out of him this year, but it's production on the field is what matters, which I mean, no love lost for me. I'm not a Jaguars fan. They can do whatever they want. But to me, that's the kind of pick that screams why we've sucked for so long. And who am I to say that? I'm a Browns fan, but at least we're somewhat trending in the right direction.
I would say so.
You know what I mean?
For what I've seen in my life, yes, bro. The direction is trending correctly for once.
I didn't want to say we're like a lead or anything because we did just have a season where we only, we didn't go 500.
Yeah.
But compared to where we were just 6 years ago, we're definitely trending in the right direction. I'm not going to, get too hype going into this year.
I'll get behind you on that, dog.
I got super hype last year and we sharpened
I know
the
we
bed.
all did. We got a little crazy with those bold predictions.
Texans on the clock. This says they need a QB. They didn't trade for ours.
Well, if you look at their team needs, it's everything on the offensive side of the ball.
QB, running back, wide
Literally every
receiver, tight
position.
end, tackle, guard, center, defensive interior edge, linebacker, cornerback.
Okay.
So
Don't want to be a Houston Texans
I was
fan.
saying, let me ask you guys
coming
this
into
then.
this season.
With all, basically every position of need for these guys, isn't Davis Mills good enough to just ride through this year?
Yeah, because even if you drafted Joe Montana, you're still going to suck this year.
You're going to be awful, and there's nobody to draft.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I didn't think Davis Mills played too bad last year. I mean, as far as the rookie quarterbacks go,
He was decent.
he was. Yeah, I mean, Justin Fields had way worse games, I think, than Davis Mills did. So he probably had some better ones too. But
Man, the Texans, this is...
Texans
Hey.
hired Lovie Smith. Is the new coach there for the upcoming season. Defensive-minded coach. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say they take the cornerback out of LSU.
is that Stingley?
Stingley Jr.
I watched some of his workout tape from his pro day, and I know I just said it's more about production on the field, and he was productive on the field. I mean, he looks good.
He's got the tools, that they're saying coming into the draft to be a shutdown type corner in the NFL. That you just put him out on the island, and he's going to be able to produce and shut down the other team's best wide receivers. So that's what They need a lot of needs on offense, and as Davis Mills, the QB, we'll see. They have another pick here later in the first round, obviously, from us. So we'll see what they end up doing there. But here, I don't know. Stingley seems to be one of the favorites, in all the everybody's expert opinion.
Oh well, the pick is in.
What do you got, Josh?
Derek
Yeah,
Stingley.
Josh.
All right.
They took Stingley.
Well done, Mel Kiper. Better Mel Kiper. Better Mel Kiper.
Yeah, hey, we're just gonna let this delay happen, and I'm just gonna get every pick right.
Yeah.
Just see if
And then-
anybody catches
yeah,
up.
they're gonna be like
Back
oh,
to the Future or something.
Yeah.
Did you see the write-up then for Aiden Hutchinson on PFF for Detroit? They gave the pick a very good grade. Said the Lions gladly take the hometown Hutchinson, falling right in their laps. Michigan product has been labeled as the high floor, lower ceiling prospect of the top group of edge defenders. That might be underselling his upside. The only edge rushers drafted in the first round over the last 5 drafts with a higher overall PFF grade in college were Chase Young, Nick Bosa, and Myles Garrett.
That's pretty good company.
Very good.
Yeah,
That's
Ohio
pretty
State
good company.
guys, we'll take that.
Yeah.
You won't, but it's okay.
Yeah, and going back kind of that, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together, but Aiden Hutchinson staying in Michigan, getting to play for
Staying
Detroit,
home.
that's
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah.
That's
Kinda
pretty
cool.
neat.
Yeah.
A lot of blue and yellow jerseys or whatever maize, whatever color they want to say they are.
I don't know what you're
It's
talking
just
about.
like pee, dude. Just pee.
Detroit's going to be an interesting team this year just because they lost so many close games last year. I
They
mean,
were kind of tough.
they played
coaches-
guys tough, and then they would just suck.
Bad mistakes. I mean,
Yeah.
they should have beat Baltimore at home, and Justin Tucker makes a 67-yard field goal or something crazy to set the NFL record. They got, I can't remember his name, Campbell, right, is the coach up there. So
Passionate guy.
Dan Campbell, and they play hard for the guy.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you, bro.
I remember his press conference last year when they hired him, and everybody was like kind of making fun of this guy. Nobody know, you don't know what you're getting into with this guy. And they played hard every single game. Didn't care what their record was.
Yep.
They were the team that could never win a game, but gave everybody a close game.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was crazy last year because you thought every week it was like, oh, Lions are going to win this week. And they just didn't pull it out. But, yeah, they played really hard for him.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talk, too, going into the season, like that he was going to be a dumpster fire because of his introductory press conference where he's talking about biting kneecaps and all that good stuff. So, but they played tough for him. I didn't want to – it kind of sucks for Stingley. He has to go play for the Texans now.
Yeah, I mean,
that is
a team that's just in total rebuild.
Oh, my God.
I think you compared them to what? The Cleveland Browns before Andrew Berry was there?
Yeah, I mean,
That's kind of where they're at.
they're very far off, I feel like.
Maybe this is their Denzel Ward.
And Texans fans, don't take that like, trust me, we just lived that. It's bad. Like, don't take that as, oh, man.
I'm
Cleveland
sorry.
Browns, talking
Crazy.
crap to us. But, yeah, no, it's bad. You're gonna be
Houston
awful for
Texans
20 years,
team
at
that
least.
that just had such an exciting duo when they had Hopkins and Watson together, and everything looked great. And now it's just, I mean, in just a few years, all 3 of those guys gone, and you're just like,
And the
man,
thing is,
how are we going to win a
it was
game?
nothing they did. It was Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, gosh.
I just trading guys away for nothing, and it's like, what are they? Is there something going on here? Is it rigged? That they just
we don't need DeAndre Hopkins. We'd much rather have David
bring
Johnson.
in David Johnson.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Now you got the
it
Jets.
was.
Now the Jets are on the clock. We've heard talk about them being the favorite to possibly trade for Deebo Samuel.
Yep.
So wide receivers definitely a need for them. Could this be a spot where we see one of these top receivers go off the board? Who do you guys think the first receiver off the board is?
Wilson.
I do think it's probably Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. I think if Jameson will, what's his name?
Jameson Williams.
Yeah, if he doesn't get hurt last year, I think he probably goes first, not first overall, but first receiver. But yeah, Wilson, I think that's a
The
pretty
only
easy
other
pick.
guy I could see if the Jets are going to go for wide receiver might be Drake London, just because they did just take
Elijah Moore
last year, and he's a smaller built receiver, and then you can get Drake London who's like 6'5", 210 or something crazy.
Either Mike Evans.
Yeah, be there Mike Evans. Yep.
It'll be interesting to see what they do here. Their season's going to hinge on if Zach Wilson makes a jump.
I'm going to go Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State, edge rusher.
I take it you already saw it?
Season.
Nope, that's who I'm going with. I didn't see it yet, so that was the pick.
No,
I
he's the
honestly didn't see
second,
it.
bro. Jermaine Johnson the second.
Hey, so I just wanted to throw this out there. Somebody sent in some stuff earlier this week and was asking what we could see happen, that the Browns might somehow get back into the first round, or if there's a specific guy. And I was thinking that it could be Treylon Burks if he slides down the first round due to his poor 40 time and everything at the combine. And he's one of the receivers the Browns actually brought in for a visit. So I feel like if he would slide down in those late teens, maybe early 20s, you see something.
Do you think the Browns move back up in, or do you think we just stay pat and maybe move up a couple spots in what's our pick in the second? 44. So I don't know if we trade all the way back up into the first.
No, I don't think so either. I think that we've done so much already that to get back into the first, you'd have to give up a lot more.
Yeah.
And I think that they're just kind of content where we're at. I mean, obviously, there's a bunch of wide receivers in the first round that would be awesome to have. And I mean, just a couple months ago, we were talking about which one we were going to take because we had we were going to have the option of somebody.
Kenny Mack thinks we moved down. I think if there's a good defensive tackle there, we have to take him.
Yeah.
I think if there's a couple, though, I think you could see a move down and say, okay, let's maybe get a couple extra picks here and there, and we'll just take one of these three guys.
Make up for some of the lost picks with the Watson trade.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is the biggest need? Is it receiver or is it D-line?
See, we talked about this on one of our last episodes where you want to say receiver. Of course, that's the sexy pick between the two, but Deshaun Watson makes all the receivers better. He levels them up. So I guess it depends on who's available. But that defensive line right now, as it stands, does need some help.
If Clowney's not signed, I'm nervous. I'm very if he's not coming back, we have a lot of work to do.
I guess it depends on who's available. Don't take a defensive tackle at 44 just because he's there if you have him graded at 70.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No,
it just depends. Make sure you get proper value. If there isn't a D tackle there who you think is either try to trade back, or if there's a receiver you've pinpointed that you think is worth that, then go get him. But I agree. I think D line, I mean, we're not very good there right now.
So Gage Tucker, Dog Pack member on Patreon, shout out to Gage. He says if Kyle Hamilton or Karlaftis fall, we will trade up. That's what he's saying.
And Gage has done more mock drafts than Mel Kiper. I'm telling you that right now. This dude's done 10 a day for the last 4 months, I feel like. So he knows his stuff. Have we figured out any of the technical problems?
We're going to try audio. Next one calls in. We're going to try audio through here.
Okay.
So I already had to go, but we'll do another one. And then we'll try it through TV.
Awesome.
Okay.
So if you guys are interested in calling in, send an email to bark@thedogspodcast.com. We think we have our technical difficulties figured out, so the echoing won't be a problem. Don't take our word for it. We need to try it. So we need somebody to call in so we can test this out. bark@thedogspodcast.com. Call in. Let us know who you think the Browns are going to take. Do you think we stay put? Do you think we move up? Do you think we drop back? Let us know what you think.
Picks in for the Jets at number 4. Cornerback out of Cincinnati, Ahmad Gardner.
Sauce Gardner
Yep, taken at number 4.
from Cincinnati.
A little surprised they went defense. I guess I shouldn't be. They got a defensive head coach, but you'd think they would be looking for help for their young quarterback.
Who do you got, Kyle? Ours back. Okay. Okay. So we're going to try to bring Ara back in from overseas. This is going to be fun. All right, can you hear us, Ara?
We'll see if I can hear you.
Hey, any echo, and how's it going?
I can hear a bit, but I've turned the volume down on my main computer as well. But I can hear you guys.
Okay, so we're working. Whatever it
Yeah,
takes.
I can
Hashtag
actually
whatever it
speak.
takes.
Yeah.
I can
Awesome. Well,
actually
hey, we
speak
appreciate.
without hearing myself now, which is good.
Awesome. Well, why don't you pick up where you left off, if it's still relevant? I know we've had a couple picks since then. What'd you think about the first pick? Was that who you thought was going to go one?
I thought it was going to be Walker, yeah. I thought they were going to go nuts. I thought they were going to be this year's Vegas or Dave Gettleman, the crazy picks that come out in the draft every year.
Yep,
and they did. They went crazy. They went crazy.
Do you think
right
it's
one.
Do you think it's a reach then to go with him at one?
Well, he's a guy who couldn't even get in the Georgia lineup and had to move to get in the team. So
That's a typical Jaguars pick.
Is Urban Meyer still around?
Yeah. So I gotta ask, man, how did you become a Browns fan all the way in Scotland?
I watched the game in the 80s. I think it was like Bengals Browns, and I picked the team right then and there. It was
You
on
just
like
stuck with us.
That must have been a Bernie, an 86 and 1986 Bernie
made you hold
Kosar.
on.
Yeah.
And that tells you a lot about Browns fans too.
Yeah.
This guy watched a game, picked the Browns. He lives in Scotland. We sucked for 30 years since then, and he's still a Browns fan, and he lives on the other side of the world. So that's really awesome. That just kind of shows you like what it is to be a Browns fan. So that's awesome. We appreciate you being here with us. Who do you think the Browns take if we stay at 44?
if we stay pat, everyone
Yeah.
seems to think that we're going to go defensive interior. I don't think we do. I don't think Andrew Berry's a defensive interior guy. I think he's going to. I think he thinks like if you have a weak interior, that people are going to run on you and not throw on you and not pass on you. So let them run because you're not going to get the big pass. Stay weak in the middle. They're going to take someone, I don't know, maybe like a safety or something. I think if Kyle Hamilton drops, they'll take him. I think that Scene guy is like an outside, like real weird chance. The guy from Georgia to go to us. And that sounds like a weird pick for us because everybody's like defensive interior, or wide receiver. I think guys we've got at the moment, wide receiver, are all going to like step up. We'll take a wide receiver, but I think like the lad from Clemson who got injured, I think he's a good pick in the third. That Justin Ross, I think he's a real good pick, like super good.
Yeah, he's a guy that he a couple years ago he was one of the best wide receivers in college football. So I like him too.
Could be a good value later on, but I agree with what you're saying, Ara, about the defensive interior position with the Browns because historically Andrew Berry have followed the money, right? I mean, they have not invested a whole lot of draft capital or free agent money or anything like that, cap space into that position.
Or even middle linebacker.
Yeah, so you're right. Those are the positions that they just kind of fill in with other guys and let them float in.
1 year contract guys.
Malik Willis.
Yeah.
Veteran guys. Yep.
I do wish that Clowney would have decided what he was going to do before.
That'd been nice. Yeah.
You know what I mean? To kind of give the Browns a little bit more clear direction what they needed to address in the draft. Maybe he's given them some kind of, like, hey, I'm just kind of taking my time, but you guys are the front runners. And so, but I doubt it. That's not his personality.
Plus, I mean, that's you can't bank on that kind of stuff anyhow. So.
So it's just, it kind of stinks that we're at the mercy of him just taking his sweet old time.
That's what he does.
I'm with you, though. I think edge or safety, or if there's a receiver there they really like, that's the kind of the big money positions that Andrew Berry's been willing to spend on.
I think there's a good chance that with the guys on low contracts, where you've got like the linebacker, we've got a one year deal with Walker. I think you've got a good chance of getting someone as a linebacker. They seem to like get guys on 1 year contracts and then get someone in the draft to fill that guy's position in a year's time. And Walker seems like the perfect guy, like draft a linebacker to take his position in a year's time. So if one of these like premium linebackers drops to the second, I can see that being a pick as well.
Yeah. I think we were big Anthony Walker fans last year, led the team in tackles. We were really happy to see him get re-signed. We do have another person who's trying to call in, Aura, so I'm sorry, but we kind of have to – I don't want to rush you off here since you were so patient, but we got other people we want to try to get to also. We really appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
brother.
we appreciate you watching the show. The fact that somebody from Scotland's talking to us right now about Browns football is just mind-blowing to me, so we really appreciate you being here
Blake's
with
going
us.
to brag about it to everybody he sees for the next
6 months. I'll be talking about how I had a guy from Scotland call into the show, and then I'll tell him about my kid.
Right.
If my wife's watching, I'm just kidding. But hey, thanks for being with us, man. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good one, lads.
You
Hey,
too.
you too. Later, brother.
Yep, let's bring on Kenny Mack we got a guy from the draft right now.
Yeah.
Coming
Is this
in.
a new fan of ours?
No, Kenny Mack is not new. He's a seasoned vet of the Dawgs. We got
Guy
to
on the
look at Kenny. Oh, jeez.
Hey, fellas.
So,
can you
Kenny,
hear me?
how's the draft going, man? I've been seeing all your pictures. I've been getting super jealous. Uh-oh.
Kenny,
Yeah, I'm
can you-
having a hard. Here's the behind me. Can you see the draft? So that's
Yep, we
Yeah,
can see it there.
nice.
It's wild, man. How's it going out there? I'm really jealous that you get to be out in Vegas while I'm in this crappy studio.
man, it's amazing.
The meanest thing you've ever
energy
said.
The energy is super awesome here, and everybody's having a great time. Everybody's talking football. Biggest thing is we went to the main stage. I might have been on TV. I don't know if you guys have it on in the background, but it's kind of where it's the one that's floating on the Bellagio. We just got away from it because if I was on the show, I couldn't hear a damn thing because everyone's booing Goodell so much. I couldn't hear anything. So I got away from the craziness to you guys. And we're also going to check out the Browns backers that are in the area here. They're at the Sporting Life, which is about, we're taking the tram to the Sahara, and then it's about a 9-minute cab or Uber ride there.
Man, so how's the draft been so far? Was it a surprise when Walker went number one? Was there a lot of booing, cheering? How was it?
So there's a lot of Jaguars betting. I heard a lot of cheers over here. I think the line to bet on him was the smallest payout, so it was a foregone conclusion that he was going. So I don't think anybody was surprised here. And then Lions fans were super stoked to have Hutchinson get drafted. Then we stepped away, so I don't know who got drafted after that, if it was who the Jets drafted.
They went with a
Jets took Gardner.
Yeah, took a corner
out of Cincy, and then the Giants just picked Thibodeau out of Oregon.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Nothing too out of you.
Kenny Mack's just having a wild time out there.
Dude, Kenny, I'm just watching the feed, and it looks like all of my 20s, and it's just so exciting, man. I'm just so pumped for
I'm
you,
pumped,
bro.
man. We got the brownies here. Look at that. Woo!
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
All
hey,
right.
we don't want to hold you up too much, man. You probably paid good premium money to be out there. We appreciate you calling in. It's awesome, as always.
All right, thanks, Kenny.
Mack. Hey,
Man, what a time
we
he's
had
gonna
to,
be having.
yeah,
Oh,
we
my
had to
you
get
know
him
what?
on the show.
I'm actually more pumped for
The
tomorrow.
Ottawa Browns backers and Kenny have always been super good to us here on the show. We love how they're fans of ours. We're fans of them, and Kenny's just always super funny. So, again, appreciate you calling in, Kenny Mack. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Well, here, real quick then. Kyle, can you play cut 3? Kenny Mack, this is his voicemail question asking about a specific receiver.
Panthers on the clock, too, by the way.
Yeah,
Okay.
it could be our first QB if somebody was going to make a big splash.
Yeah, go ahead.
So with the 44th pick overall, the Browns pick George Pickens from Georgia. And here's why I like him. 2.1% drop ratio. He's got 4.4 speed. He's 88th percentile athlete. Tell me what you guys think. Go Brownies.
I've liked George Pickens the whole time we've been going through this process.
It'd be a good Pickens.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're a dad now. You can get away with that.
But,
no, we don't know, bro. That one's not flying.
I mean, if Pickens is there at 44, I have a feeling he might not be.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's
you know,
fair.
Comparisons to like an AJ Green type wide receiver. He's a big guy, 6'3". So can you imagine putting him on one side of the field, Cooper on the other?
Yep.
Man, I mean, that'd be two tall weapons for cornerbacks to have to try to match up with. Like, you know, you said, like Kenny said, footwork, has sure hands. He'd be a great guy for us to be able to get at 44. I just have a bad feeling that he might not be there at 44 because he's one of those wide receivers that kind of a lot of teams are going to be targeting in that early second round. So it's all about, is he there when we get the pick?
It'd be nice if he would be. Just because I'm selfish, I wish the Browns would trade up. I just really don't think it's going to happen.
No.
I just think AB he manipulates the draft too well. We thought, you know, that he was going to be so much movement last year, and he stayed put and got Newsome, and then he only had to trade up. Wasn't a few picks to get JOK.
Something like that. Yeah.
So I just think, I don't know. He's playing chess and everybody else is playing checkers. That's the way it feels to me. So I just don't see him going nuts, giving up 3 picks, players, that kind of, to move up for a guy, to be honest, end of the first round. None of those guys are sure things. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you're going to mortgage, you know, any kind of future picks and that kind of things for, I'm not going to call them project guys, but it's not Garrett Wilson. It's not Olave. It's not dude out of USC. So I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, and there's some guys, you know, kind of later here in the draft at the wide receiver position that are still going to be guys that you're going to, like, I'm going to throw a name out there. Now, he doesn't have, like, wow, maybe type elite skills, you could say. But John Mechie, I know he's coming off an injury, but out of Alabama. My wife being an Alabama fan, I've watched a lot of the Crimson Tide's game. John Mechie is a playmaker. I don't care how fast or what skill set. That guy gets the ball and he takes it to the house. So I don't care how fast his 40 time is, stuff like that. He reminds me of like what a younger Jarvis Landry could be or could have been, you know, if he was put in a situation with Deshaun Watson as his quarterback instead of, you know, going through Ryan Tannehill years with Adam Gase, you know, so you know, there's definitely some talent even later on with some guys. The biggest thing is where do guys fall, you know, is Pickens guy fall to us and then, okay, that's a home run, no brainer type of pick. But I think a lot of wide receivers are going to go early this year.
My brother just texted me and said apparently college offenses sucked this year. No offensive guys are getting drafted here early.
Well, I think it's just deep. I think that the offensive talent is pretty wide receiver. You know,
yeah, we've seen that. You know, where they're like sometimes the offensive linemen have to go quick, like you're saying, Josh, because there's only 5 guys that are like day one starters in the whole draft.
Yep.
And you got to go get them now, otherwise, you know, you're going to miss out.
Pick is in for the Panthers.
You have it?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Not a quarterback.
Not Baker Mayfield trade?
Nope. They chose tackle Ikem Ekwonu out of NC State. Yeah. So the first team we thought maybe was going to go quarterback passed on Malik Willis. I kind of thought that's where he was going to go. They said they're probably not trading for Baker Mayfield, but unless they think one of these QBs is going to be available later.
This is a good thing for us, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, this is a good thing for Browns fans. You know, if we're keeping, you know, talking about us, what this trade does is it still allows the Panthers to be in the Baker sweepstakes. So
the interesting thing that I'm reading PFF about Ekwonu here, and Blake, you'll be happy about this as a Christian McCaffrey owner. They're grading him as the best run blocking tackle in the country.
So is Matt Rule trying to lean more onto CMC if he can stay healthy this year?
I don't know. We might see them take another running back or something later on in the draft too.
I hope not.
I'm just saying, man.
I'm trying to go back to back titles.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and show everybody what you got behind you there?
I'd have to turn around. I'm
All right,
connected.
don't worry about it. He's all tied in.
Maybe
back
coming
there.
back from one of our breaks. You can,
Yeah. After I'm gonna eat pizza then. No.
you can put it in front of Justin. Nobody will be able to see him.
That's right. It's literally it's outrageous.
Are you guys surprised they didn't go with Willis?
I just don't think that there's a lot of teams sold maybe on the quarterback. I mean,
Didn't they pass on Justin Fields last year?
yeah.
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 Because they had Sam Darnold.
So I guess pass on Malik Willis too. I don't know.
Giants are going to be back on the clock then once Carolina officially turns his card in out in Vegas. PFF must says that they got the inside scoop. That's how we're getting it early. Giants, I don't know. Technically, I feel like they could be in the market for a quarterback. They didn't pick up Daniel Jones' fifth-year option, but I don't know if they're going to pick a project guy. I think they'll roll with Daniel Jones this year.
Yeah.
And if it's bad again and they're picking top 5 next year, then that's when they'll take their quarterback.
Well, because Jones is still a project guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need 2 of them.
It's kind of crazy that New York, who is a big city and a big, whether it's the Giants or the Jets, being the franchise quarterback, and for both of those franchises in New York did not have a guy. I mean, I don't know if Zach Wilson's the guy. I mean, he was okay last year as a rookie. We'll see, but I mean, you would think New York, it's big money market type teams, and neither one have a quarterback for the future.
Yeah.
I mean, Eli Manning's looking like, man, I mean, all those fans at the end of his career were like, oh, we just want to get rid of Eli. He's holding us back. Miss him now, don't you?
I mean, probably not. He was kind of sucking. Daniel
They
Jones.
haven't improved from that sucking mark since then.
His sucking was still better than what
They're
got
sucking,
now.
yeah.
Daniel Jones is at times showed.
He just looks like he'd be a great quarterback when you see him, but then he can't hold on to a football.
Jones tackled himself.
That's like one of my favorite
open
clips
field.
ever. That run.
He was running like a 4.4 40 or something.
I love that.
Oh my gosh!
There's nobody 20 yards within him.
That dude can't hold on to the ball. I mean,
No.
he fumbles
every game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
How much do we know how much Daniel Jones is making this year? Like in his last, I guess the 4th year. Because my thing
What's
is
New York's minimum wage?
probably pretty decent.
Yeah, more than here.
Yeah. My thing
You got
is, too,
Kyle laughing over here.
Yeah. I just don't know if they really if we bring it to like a Baker Mayfield kind of thing, I don't know if you're paying $16 million or 17 or 18 or whatever Daniel Jones is probably going to make this year, and then you're going to bring in like some Baker Mayfield money. I don't know how many just kind of mediocre QB contracts you're going to put on one team, and then hope one of those guys are okay. I mean, I don't know.
So Giants on the clock. It says their needs are tackle, guard, center, edge, and linebacker. So they'll probably go like punter.
So they took who'd they take with their first pick?
Who, the Giants?
Yeah.
Didn't they take Thibodeau?
Yes, Thibodeau. Yep. So I don't know. Maybe they could go O-line here. You got that Evan Neal still out there in the O-line, and Cross out of Mississippi State, 2 guys, that have been mocked to go to them here at this pick.
What's crazy is the Giants have some weapons.
Yeah,
Like they're not one of these awful teams that are completely depleted at the skill position. Saquon, if he could stay healthy, Sterling Shepard's still on their team, right?
They're talking about trading Kadarius Toney though. Like
but they want so much for him.
For a guy
they want a
who
lot.
Stay healthy.
Yeah, and he's 5'4". I mean, he's tiny. But so the point I was making about them not having quarterback though is just like if they could figure that out, so many guys would want to go play for New York, and play for the Giants and stuff. I mean, the history of that franchise, there'd be all kinds of free agents that would be willing to go there. But
absolutely.
Man,
you see this? Somebody's name on YouTube is Baker Mayfield, and he just commented, "I hate Cleveland."
Well played, brother.
Nice.
Baker, get off our podcast. We're good, man. We can't defend you anymore.
The Lord knows I tried.
Yeah.
I tried
multiple times.
Yeah.
For years.
Unrendered says, "What's up? A little late, but I made the stream. We appreciate you being here." That goes without saying. Everybody who's here, I don't know how many people are watching right now. I'd guess probably somewhere between like 1 million or 2. We appreciate all you guys being here with us through the ups and downs, the technical difficulties. We appreciate you guys being here with us, making a ton of fun. Baker Mayfield says he loves the show.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Thanks, man. Can you help me out with the 3 jerseys I have?
We like more the show or the Cheesecake Factory?
Sheesh.
Say nothing if it's the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh man.
Okay.
We can't make those jokes.
No,
we're not in that place.
We're
yet.
being too mean.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want you to go on another podcast and talk bad about me. Come boo me.
Yep. Watch you crumble.
In your cubicle. Yeah.
Yeah, you piece of garbage.
Oh man.
You not Baker.
How about that? How about that statue?
Oh,
yeah.
we got to talk about that for a
Bad.
second.
Yeah, go for it.
How about that?
It looks like Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes.
I don't
It's
know
awesome.
who. I mean, this is a growing trend in the statute business. They can't get anything to look alike.
They need to get like the Hall of Fame bus guy to just come
Oh
out
my
and help out
gosh.
a little bit. Must
It
be
was
like
so bad.
What's worse, the
Boston
Baker or the Ronaldo? Because
Yeah, the Ronaldo's bad.
Ronaldo's
That's
bad,
bad.
too. But like the Baker, I mean, it looks like a quarterback from the 1960s.
like they tried to give him like his flip back hair, like just give him
It
a
looked like
crop
a
top or
receding
something.
hairline. Whatever. I have no idea. And then, I mean, if you're in that position, you're like, as Baker, you're like, all right, I get this statue, and then they unveil it.
I'm literally going, hey, who the hell is that guy? Is that supposed? Who else
Why'd
is
you
getting,
guys call me
Yeah,
down
who
here?
else
Yeah.
is getting
Right.
inducted today? Who else is getting a statue? This is crazy.
Am I
Who's this
next
guy?
weekend, or-
Yeah, did I come to the wrong day?
Imagine,
All right.
I can just imagine like Oklahoma Sooner fans 20 years from now going and being like, oh, look, that's Baker Mayfield. Looks nothing like him.
Correct. No. Nope.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow.
So the Giants pick is in.
Okay,
Okay.
you have
What do
it?
you got?
Yeah, so it's Evan Neal, the tackle out of Alabama.
Okay.
Okay.
Protection
For
for somebody.
for whoever they pick next year.
Yeah. All right.
So now Daniel Jones doesn't have any reason to fumble. He will. He doesn't need a reason.
No,
but
yeah.
There is no reason now to fumble.
Correct.
They solidify that left tackle position. That puts the Falcons on the clock. Their needs are QB, guard, center, defensive interior, edge, and cornerback. I can't believe wide receiver's not on there as far as their needs.
They have none.
Yeah, they got Pitts. He's tight end.
Right.
Obviously they let Julio go last year, and Calvin Ridley suspended for a year.
I don't know that he have even. I mean, Ridley. His future's kind of up in the air. Like, I don't even know what happens after this next year, you know?
Can you tell me another receiver on the Falcons? They got Cordero Patterson, who kind of
Russell
does
Gage
everything.
got traded, right?
Yeah, the best wide receiver on the Falcons, that Zacchaeus or something like that.
Zacchaeus?
Zacchaeus. I don't even know how to say his name. But
Well, that's not
I
good.
think he's
That's
their
not
number
good.
one.
Okay.
So I can't see how wide receiver wouldn't be considered a need. I mean, if I'm them, I'm going Garrett Wilson.
Okay, but what else are they in the market for?
QB,
Quarterback.
guard, center.
QB.
I mean, they just traded for Mariota. They're going to give him a year.
I don't know. I could see this being
The
Willis.
mentoring thing.
I could see this being Willis.
Well, they didn't trade from. Sorry,
They just
Mariota,
signed him.
They signed
Right.
him. So, I mean, it'd be the same thing as Pittsburgh drafting a guy after they signed Trubisky. So,
Yeah, I could see this being Willis here.
But how can you
Kadero Hodge is their number 3 wide receiver.
number 3.
Don't laugh. He was our number 3 for a while.
Auden Tate is their number 2.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, he ruined me in some fantasy.
These guys really
matchups.
need a receiver. Bad.
Yeah, I just don't think if you sign Mariota and you think he has a chance to be your starter, you got to give him somebody. How are you supposed to evaluate him?
Maybe
Yeah.
he's like you know.
So I'm
gonna
seeing
be
here in the
mentoring.
chat, we're getting a lot of Garrett Wilson. We're getting a little Drake London.
Okay.
Either way, I do think you got to have somebody throw the ball to him. You can't just rely on your tight end,
Yeah.
who's a receiver too. But
No, if Cordero Patterson can play well like he did last year, and then Pitts takes his next step, who was already good, and then you draft Garrett Wilson, now all of a sudden Mariota has a little bit of. They're not great, but he's got a little bit of something he can deal with. You know what I mean?
And they could always focus on like another running back later in the draft to kind of free up Patterson to do more wide receiver.
Well, what's his name?
duties.
Their backup running back, I thought was a big letdown. I was kind of excited for him. Mike Davis that went there.
Yeah.
They signed.
I thought he was going to be their number 1.
Yeah.
No.
Couldn't beat a wide receiver out to be
That's
the
right.
running back.
That's right.
Patterson, I don't look for Patterson to have a big year this. I feel like last year was kind of a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
I just don't see – you don't see many running backs having a career resurgence post 30.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that's not a thing.
Yeah, so I don't know. I could there was another spot here in the top 10 for QB to go to. This would have been one of mine that I would have said that this is a chance.
I mean, wasn't it a few years ago like the first 4 picks or something were quarterbacks? And now, I mean, who knows when we're going to get one.
last year was the first 3.
So, I mean.
Did you guys see that, like, what it can be from year to year, the draft? It was like all the quarterbacks taken in, like, 2016 or something like that, and, like, all their yard. And they're all just, like, franchise QBs, every pick. And then the following year was, the Drew Lock year.
Yeah.
And there was just, like, everybody was a bust. So, I mean, it's crazy, year from year,
This does kind of remind me of that year. I forget when it was, the E.J. Manuel.
Yes, that's
Geno
yes.
Smith. Is that what you're talking about? Okay, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like, it was just a bunch of guys that
just
aren't.
a bunch of Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers, maybe. We'll see what happens with their careers.
So
Don't give up yet.
It'll be interesting to teams learn from that because that year there were a ton of guys who everybody knew they weren't first-round quarterbacks.
Well,
but they got taken anyway.
So far this year in the draft, we've seen no trades.
Which is crazy. There are 8 teams with multiple picks in the first round.
How many trades last year were made before? Well, okay, I shouldn't say that. I guess the Philadelphia-New Orleans trade, that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But that was still outside of the top 10. A lot of times you see these trades in the top 10. Guys are coming up for a QB or whatever. And
like the Giants, you're kind of, I guess they needed a tackle, and that Neil guy's good, but you could have saw them trading one of those picks. Like I said, 8 teams in the first round with multiple first-round draft picks, and we've yet to see a trade.
Yeah.
So, I will say this: it's going kind of slow. Pick is in for the Falcons.
All right, there it was.
What do you got?
First wide receiver off the board. They did not go Garrett Wilson. I think whatever. They went with Drake London.
Drake London to the Falcons.
Wide receiver out of USC. Obviously, I mean, he put up a season's worth of numbers in about 8 games last year. Yeah. So he's obviously talented. I'm just a homer. I would have went Wilson.
Yeah, I know. We would have too. But in 8 games, he had 88 catches. No, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, 88 catches, 1,084 yards, 7 touchdowns in 8 games. 6'5", 210.
I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, he's huge. He's a big wide. He's a number 1 size wide receiver. Comparisons put him as like a Mike Evans type guy.
Yep, I saw some Brandon Marshall comps.
I mean, guys that we're talking about that like red zone, just throw it up to him.
He'll get it.
So I mean, I like Drake London. I've been a fan. So
he's good. Yeah. I'm an Ohio State homer.
Right.
So I thought Garrett Wilson should have been the first.
Well, then you should know that
with a better quarterback.
Yeah. That puts the Seahawks on the clock. Could they go quarterback here? They drafted a smaller, mobile Russell Wilson. Could this be where they take Willis?
Well, I don't care what they say about Drew Lock. They're not sold on Drew Lock.
No. I agree with you on that.
And I think they re-signed Geno Smith to like a 1-year discount.
It's like hey, let's just get through this year and then just see what's going on next year kind of deal.
Man,
I don't think they're trading for Baker though. Like,
but okay, so we say that though, but they have some weapon. I mean, they got DK Metcalf, they got Tyler Lockett,
Chris Carson.
They got 3 good running backs: Carson, Penny.
Yes,
their running backs are always hurt though. Always hurt.
Well, the next guy up just keeps stepping. Rashard Penny, all he did was just put up 200 yards and 3 touchdowns the whole last.
He didn't start. Games? He didn't play until game like.
But then
13.
He got hurt.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's Pete Carroll is on his way out, I think.
They have no offensive line. That's the problem. They got no line, and their defense is awful. The Legion of Boom is gone. It feels like a long time ago.
Those were exciting years, though. Yeah. Like the Seattle, New England Super Bowl. Yeah.
And Seattle fans, they'll be fine. They're okay. They got a few, Super Bowls and stuff. They'll be all right.
Right. Yeah. So I could see quarterback here. As a Browns fan, I'm hoping I don't.
Yeah, I would like to see that Baker trade happen in the second round or something.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see him go otherwise here. But I
just want Baker off the team just because I just don't want to have to keep talking about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just want him gone. Let's just get it over with.
Yeah.
Let's just end that news cycle and be done with it.
I mean, they
Is
obviously
Katie ready to call in? No, okay.
They have Drew Lock. They got Noah Fant also in that trade. So I mean, add him to Metcalf and Lockett. I mean, whoever is going to play quarterback in Seattle, other than their line, but if they can shore that up here, maybe in this draft, there's a couple offensive linemen that Cross is still here. So I mean, there's some guys that they could draft to maybe shore that up. Like Justin's saying, use Lock to get through this year, win 6 games, something like that, and then just go for a top 10 next year.
Yep. I mean, especially if you don't see a potential starter franchise guy.
Yeah, because you can't go and be like, okay, let's draft Willis here, not know that he's the guy, and then you miss out on a tackle that could be one of your starters for the next 8-9 years.
His career, yeah. Yep, I agree. I completely agree.
Oh, is the pick in yet?
Take a peek here.
No,
there's
Seahawks.
It is. It just popped in. Yep.
All right, let's see it.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
You're the announcer.
Seahawks took Charles Cross, the tackle out of Mississippi State.
Okay.
I think that's a smart pick here for them.
They got to build that line. That line has not been good for a couple years now.
No, and you don't have a mobile Russell Wilson anymore to run around. There's no more let Russ cook. It's going to be let Drew Lock get smoked.
Is that a weed reference? Or
on the regular.
I don't know what that was, man.
I don't know, but I mean, feel bad for Seattle losing Russell.
Yeah.
I mean, they did get a nice haul for him. Yeah. Not great. I would have thought maybe they could have got a little more, but. And they play in that tough division too, so
that's gonna be a lot.
They're going 0-6 in the division this year, possibly.
That's not. Yeah, that's rough. They got to go against.
They got the Cardinals, the Rams,
and the
Niners.
What are the Niners going to do this year? With I've heard that they might still roll with Jimmy G.
You got to keep Jimmy G if you're them. I feel like because I'm not sold on Trey Lance. And who else are you going to?
They have to be sold on Trey Lance though. You
gave up 3
You gave up 3 first-round draft picks.
He's your guy. He has to be.
You have to play him. There's no way you trade 3 first-round picks and then you never even give this guy a shot. There's no way.
I'm with you on that. I agree 100%. I think Jimmy G, Baker, these are guys that I'm looking to get traded here. Not tonight maybe, but tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And you have to think Shanahan had a lot to say with going with Lance.
If Lance ends up coming out and everything, I don't know. It just feels like it's like he's not. They're like, he might not be ready, so they're gonna. Well, you drafted him to be ready last year.
Yeah. You give up 3 first-round.
So you thought he was ready last year, and now he might still not be ready year 2. So if they go to him, is then Shanahan on the hot seat? Because hey, this was your guy.
I think everybody who had a hand in going with him, they hitched their
wagons
to
him.
Yes, 100%. You can't give up 3 first-round. It's the same thing in Cleveland. If for some reason Deshaun comes out and he forgot how to play football, as much as we love Andrew Berry, he's probably gone.
Yeah, and I do think that Trey Lance was more of a project quarterback last year. I think he was that raw talent that he really needed to be molded. He had all the skills.
I mean, how many games did he start in college? Wasn't it like 4?
Yeah, it wasn't
It was something ridiculously low.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll be interesting. So we've got the Jets are back on the clock. This could be
the receiver.
This could be Ohio State. Could be Garrett Wilson. Could be Jamison Williams.
So are you wanting to do a commercial break? Then we'll take a little break after this pick. We'll do.
Is this the 10th pick?
Yeah, this is the 10th pick.
Yeah, we'll take a quick commercial break after this.
Okay.
So I could see, this could be Garrett Wilson and going to get thrown to by Zach Wilson.
Wilson.
He's got kind of a cannon of an arm. He did some things last year, but then there are other times. But it's just like, what's their offensive philosophy?
It didn't really look like they had one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's their identity?
Michael Carter wasn't the starting running back till the end of the year, and they were like, "Oh, hey, this guy we
good.
drafted is pretty good.
He's good, and we took him very high.
Yeah, we should probably give him the ball."
Yeah.
I don't know. Robert Salas, I think that there was a lot of people excited that they got him, and then last year it was just like, I don't know. We'll see what year 2. I mean, obviously you got to give a guy like that maybe a year or 2 but he's a defensive guy.
And the roster he took over was not good.
No.
He took over. It was a dumpster fire. So,
as far as bad as the Browns have been for a long time before this period we're in right now, there's some other teams that it would suck to be fans for.
Yes.
I mean, the New York Jets had a couple years there where they had Sanchez.
Yep.
Before the butt fumble.
Yeah. AFC
But even those
championships.
years had to be like, hey, guys, you know this is like fake, right?
I don't know, man. I watched them in the playoffs, and I was like, we'll never get there. That must be.
Rex Ryan, you were wanting him to come to Cleveland.
Well, I mean, what about the
what that's
Jags?
like.
Jags were one game away from the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Jalen
Yeah.
Ramsey
almost-
gave his speech, and since then, it's been.
He just went and won one.
yeah.
I mean, they got. I mean, if you brought in Garrett Wilson, you place him with Elijah Moore, who flashed
It's nice.
at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So you bring that. You got Michael Carter, Tevin Coleman, I think, still there as a backup running back. You know, Denzel Mims, he was a draft pick a couple years back. That was kind of a bust. Everybody thought he was going to be a number one size wide receiver, big, tall, and just didn't really work out. So I don't know. I mean, they still got they got a lot of stuff to figure out.
I would say the offense has a chance to be
okay
if they go with Wilson here and you know and he's as good as we think he's going to be and Zach Wilson figures it out, that they have a chance to be decent. I do think you got to lean on the running game a little bit to help out your young quarterback and get some kind of identity. I mean,
they drafted Mekhi Becton. Was that last year they got Becton? Or is that 2 years ago?
I think that
might
was
be
2 years ago.
It might be 2 years ago. That was a home run pick. I mean, he's one of the top linemen in the NFL. But the problem is you got to have more than one. A lot of teams.
we're a little spoiled here in Cleveland. Not everybody has,
7.
Yeah, 4 Pro Bowlers or whatever
We're
on
just
the
out here
offensive
cutting
line.
centers like we don't need them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not many teams would be cutting J.C. Treader.
He's still unsigned, right?
There's a lot of guys. So some of these older guys, I think,
Like, do they not know that, like, hey, do some stuff before the draft so your team that you go to can get better in the draft?
I also think that a lot of these older guys, they don't want to do a lot in the offseason.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
You know what I mean? So they just wait as long as possible. If I can skip OTAs, I mean, you can skip them anyways, but it looks better if you're just not on a team and you skip them than if you skip the OTAs with your new team. And can I skip mini camp? Okay, season starts in a month, I'll go sign with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
J.C. Treader's been playing football for a while. He's saying, I don't need practice. Practice? Why are we talking about practice?
You're right. Those older guys, too. I mean, football's it wears and tears your body.
They have Corey Davis, too. And I will say this. I just won the Super Bowl with the Jets and Madden. So it's doable.
You were throwing a made-up tight end.
I was throwing Carter Williams broke the NFL receiving record. He had like 2,900 yards.
Oh, wow.
Or no, it's Carter Landry.
Yeah, Carter Landry.
Nice.
And for all you Madden folks out there, if you start a face of the franchise,
You're probably going to New York.
Your made-up tight end is Carter Landry, and by the end of the year, he's the fastest, biggest, never drops a ball, always wide open tight end in the history of the NFL. I could run the same play over and over again, and he's just wide open every
finds
time.
a way to get open.
Yeah, he just runs through the zone. I'm telling you, I threw for like 7,000 yards, and I'm pretty sure like 3,000 of them were to him.
Should have turned the difficulty up, man.
I was playing
on rookie mode.
Yeah, bro.
I think I was playing. So what's the toughest one?
It wasn't that one.
All Madden.
What's
It's
that?
all pro.
What's
all
the one
pro.
right below
all
Madden?
pro.
All pro.
That's what I was playing on.
Oh, well, go to
Okay.
All Madden, you win.
No, well,
Yes.
I was like, I'm gonna at least. I
Blake
need to get
7,000 yards.
Your
be down to
daughter would be
1,500
so
for
disappointed.
Listen,
in
I
you.
needed to get. I wanted to get a little bit of experience under the belt, and then for season 2, I'll up the difficulty.
Yeah, maybe you
right.
go to All Madden, you start seeing that Baker Mayfield type games.
Why don't you
that
play a
you'd have
real
to go
person?
Aura wants to know if the Jets trade this pick for Debo.
I've
they're not
seen
getting
rumors of
rid
it.
of
I don't think San Francisco.
If
for sure.
I'm
San
not
Francisco's
trading
doing
my number 10 pick because you probably have to give up more, wouldn't you think?
Oh
you
my
think
gosh.
they'd want something on top of
Couple?
Debo,
that? Just take Garrett Wilson.
they said that they would want the king's ransom for Debo, which why would
Which
you?
I don't-
He does everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
he's
the
hurt a
problem. And
lot.
he doesn't want to do everything.
I think he's okay with doing everything. He just wants to be paid like he's doing everything.
He said he wants to be like a normal
receiver.
wide receiver.
Oh, really?
He doesn't want to be a
Oh.
running back hybrid.
Oh, man. Well,
But I went back. Well, hey,
shouldn't have done all that running.
He's on a
of your
fantasy
appeal
team,
is-
so he needs to shut his mouth and just
Yeah.
do whatever the coach wants.
Jeez.
That was really rude. Okay,
Yes.
pick is in. Pick is in.
Who they
the
got?
New York Jets select Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
Out of
Okay,
Ohio State.
Buckeye out the board.
exciting for Garrett Wilson, first Buckeye off the board. Now it'll be interesting to see where Olave goes.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett Wilson, he's going to be a guy who's going to be thrown right in the mix and play right away.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You don't draft a receiver at 10 to let him sit.
Yeah, so, I mean, it'd be exciting to see what they have. Hopefully, for his case, they're not looking at a quarterback next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
And if they are, I mean, will Stroud be able to come out next year?
I think.
That'd be crazy.
If they pick Stroud next year and he gets to play with Wilson.
Be a little chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But, okay, well, I think we're going to take a quick break here. 10 picks. Took about hour and 13 minutes. I've been talking a lot. I'm thirsty. So we're going to take, a couple minute break here. Let us regroup our thoughts. Please stay with us. I don't want to come back to like 4 people watching. That would make like the next hour really sucky. So please.
We'll just turn it off then.
Yeah. So please stay with us. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Go get yourself some refreshments. Tell the wife good night. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Welcome to the Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Zach Kopp, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
Hey, what's going on, Browns fans? I hope you're enjoying the live draft coverage tonight. And please, I want to invite everybody to join our Dawgs Podcast community over on Patreon. Become an official member of the Dog Pack. Tons of diehard Browns fans in this community. A lot of fun. We've got a lot of great conversations going on. We got threads during the football season. We had 2 fantasy football leagues. The winners won some Dawgs merch from the show. It's just a great place to be if you're a Browns fan. You're going to meet Browns fans from all over the world. We've got people from Ireland. What's up, Luke? We've got people from Canada, Kenny. We got people out in California, Indiana, down in Kentucky, all the way around the world. I think we got our first Dog Pack member from over in the UK. So cheers. And I'll tell you guys what, you are missing out if you're not a part of the Dog Pack. Just for a minimum of $5, you can join. And you'll get an extra episode of the show every week called The Dawgs After Hours. We get a little bit uncensored and a little more candid than normal in there, but it's a ton of fun. We have a lot of great conversations. So please, if you're interested, check out jointhedawgs.com. Become an official Dog Pack member today.
Welcome to the Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Zach Kopp, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
This episode of the Dawgs Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. Listeners of this show can get 20% off their order plus free shipping worldwide with the promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, at manscaped.com. And if our math is correct, that's roughly 8 million balls. Sorry, not roughly. That's smoothly 8 million balls. Manscaped's Lawnmower 4.0 is the future of male grooming. This hair trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. Guys, if you've been using any other trimmer like I used to use, you know how lucky you are to walk out of the bathroom accident-free. Now, I've been using the Lawnmower 4.0 for about a year now, and I can tell you I always leave my worries at the door. The Lawnmower 4.0 is also waterproof, and it comes with a 4000K LED spotlight to help you achieve the most precise shave you'll ever get. So grab yourself the Performance Package 4.0, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0, along with the Weed Whacker nose and hair trimmer. But Manscaped isn't just hair trimmers. The Performance Package also includes the Crop Preserver Downstairs deodorant and Crop Reviver Downstairs toner. Manscaped also offers body wash, shampoos, conditioners, body sprays, colognes, and more. Manscaped used to say your balls will thank you, but now your whole body will thank you, and your ladies will too. Look, I'm a guy, and I know all you guys out there spend your days getting after it busting your butt, breaking a sweat. But guys, your ladies still deserve a fresh smelling man when you get home from work. So what are you waiting for? Order the Performance Package 4.0 today with promo code DAWGS, DAWGS at manscaped.com. And Manscaped's also going to send you 2 free gifts with your order. They're going to send you a pair of Manscaped boxers, super comfortable, and the Shed travel bag so you can pack everything up and take it on the road. Get 20% off right now with free shipping at manscaped.com using promo code DAWGS, DAWGS when you check out. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
All right, teams, time to bet NFL games. Confidence.
I'm feeling a parlay with more legs than a spider.
So 9 legs?
Roll the dice, baby.
Indecision?
We pick one home favorite. I abstain.
You can't abstain.
Boring! 6-leg parlay, 2 home dogs, all hitting the over. Boom!
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and feel the NFL action like never before.
All right, it all comes down to this. The Giants score and our guy brings home the bacon.
But isn't he an Eagles fan?
He's from New Jersey, but his mom grew up in Philadelphia, so it could go either way.
It's a win-win. He wins or his team gets help in the standings.
I'm flying with the birds for life. I think. Never had a doubt.
Download the DraftKings app and feel the NFL action like never before.
And I'm back here on the episode, kinda, sorta. You know,
what a rookie! What a rookie!
I got, hey, this is gonna be back in a minute. Oh crap! And I'm like running, jumping over cameras.
Well, while we were gone, Saints traded up to pick 11. That was the Commanders were supposed to be picking at that spot, and they made the trade. Not really sure what all the trade was for. I don't know. The Saints had a pick there in the first round, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know where it was at.
Yeah, I forget too what that. I can pull that up real quick and we can see what the Saints traded with the Eagles. Okay, so Eagles sent. I'm sorry, I do not have it.
So Justin had to get out of here because he's got to get up really early for work in the morning. And he forgot his shade, so he's literally crawling under tables and cameras right now so he doesn't interrupt the broadcast. That's commitment.
It's dark outside, bro. Then you can take the glasses off.
He's wearing this because his future's so bright.
Oh, my gosh.
Nice.
Man,
it was nice having everybody back.
It was.
It's been a while since I've seen you guys. So
taking Justin's place for the next hour of the show will be my fantasy trophy because I won.
Yeah.
A little backstory on this puppy. First of all, this bitch is thick.
It's a nice
This
trophy.
is a nice trophy. Also came with a ring. I'll show that off maybe at some point. But I snuck into the playoffs. I think I had to win.
It's ridiculous.
It was stupid.
Didn't I have to win so many games in a row just to get in? And then in the playoffs, I kept scoring almost no points, but the team I played scored nothing.
Yep, I had my worst game. You knocked me out, and then who was it? It was our buddy Thomas.
Yeah, I knocked him out,
Worst
and then
game,
in the championship, I played Josh's sister-in-law, and she'd been murdering everybody. She scored like 12 points, and I won the championship. It was one of my worst teams I've ever had in this league, and I somehow won that's the year I won the championship.
It was in the semifinals, so I was on the other side. And I lose like 160 to 150. Blake moves on, scoring 60 points.
Pick is in, by the way. I called this while we were off the air.
Wow.
Saints take Chris Olave at number 11.
Yeah, I thought maybe wide receiver. Quarterback-wise, I don't know. I mean, obviously they're in play for a quarterback because I don't think they're sold on Jameis Winston being their future, but he's definitely good enough to win games. I mean, if he just doesn't turn the ball over. Chris Olave going to that roster, I mean, Alvin Kamara is still there.
Is he still there? What's going on with him?
He's still there, but I don't know what they're going to do with him. It sounds like he's a piece that they thought that maybe they could move and get like a bunch of stuff for. I don't know. I think he's too good to get rid of. I like Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, I just
and
don't
then
know.
Michael Thomas.
Is
like
he going to jail? Like, what's going on?
I haven't heard
If
anything
anybody
about
knows
that.
anything about what's going on with Alvin Kamara, drop in the comments, because last I heard he had assault charges.
Oh, from in the Pro Bowl, right? What's up with the Pro Bowl?
Like, and it was like messed a guy up pretty good or something. So
They've swept that stuff under the table in the NFL anymore. Well, who are we to talk about people and their problems that they're having outside of football?
This is how you know we made it, by the way.
We just got spammed real nice.
We got a hot girls and boys video chat bot in our that's how you know we made it. We're getting spammed by bots.
Well, Baker Mayfield jumped in the chat or in the comments earlier.
Midwest Mayhem says he's going to jail. That's what I thought. I thought like it was pretty serious. Like he wasn't going to be around, which is good for my fantasy team because I have Mark Ingram. And so maybe he'll be the number one back there. But I do think if Michael Thomas is healthy, Olave and Michael Thomas is a good pairing.
The Lions just traded up to 12.
Wow. Okay, so here's we're starting to see Malik Willis. We're starting to see the moves.
Yeah.
Or we kind of thought. Justin left just as the draft is starting to get really drafty.
Or is this to jump up because Olave's gone and they really want Jameson Williams? They want to get that last wide top tier.
They definitely do need a wide receiver. Yep.
So our favorite Ravens fan jumped in the chat earlier and said,
"Did he really? I didn't see him."
Jordan Davis to the Ravens at 14.
Oh my gosh!
And the
Please
thing is,
no.
It's looking like that might happen if the Lions go wide receiver here, and then the Texans. I just don't see the Texans going D tackle. It's like the one. It is one of their 12 needs. But
okay,
you know the Ravens will take him if he's there.
So I saw that for the Saints pick, obviously where they just took Olave, they gave Washington pick 16, 98, and 120. So they gave 3 picks to move up however many spots to get Olave.
I mean,
5 spots.
That tells you they want to see what Jameson can do. They're going to put talent around him to see if he can be the guy of the future.
We talked about Jameis. I mean, historically, his numbers, everybody always points to that one season where he threw 30 interceptions, but he had 33 touchdowns and over, 5,100 yards or something?
Obviously, 30 interceptions is way too many. But if you can throw 30 interceptions and your touchdown to interception ratio that year is still over 1, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and if you look at the stats throughout his career before that and since, the interceptions were never really a problem.
They were like 1:8 ratio somewhere in there. It wasn't great, but I mean Matthew Stafford threw 20 picks this year. Joe Burrow led the league in interceptions at one point this year. Everybody thinks he's like the next coming of Tom Brady or whatever at the quarterback position. So I think we talked about interceptions. Obviously, you don't want to throw a ton of interceptions, but it really depends on where you throw them if it's the killer. You don't want to throw red zone picks, and you don't want to throw them, last 2 minutes of the half, last 2 minutes of the game. But if you're good enough of a quarterback, you can overcome a middle of the field interception.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not the end all be all. I think so many people put an emphasis on the touchdown to interception ratio in Cleveland because we had to be perfect. The one interception, all of a sudden now a call by the officials is what cost us the game.
Wow, pick is in. 12th pick.
Wow.
Kenny Pickett, quarterback out of Pittsburgh, gone.
Wow.
Not so sold on Jared Goff in Detroit.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, that was a guy that, has been rumored to go to Pittsburgh.
I thought Willis would be the guy, the first round guy.
I don't know because he played for Liberty, but Pitt's not a much bigger draw.
And
but
Pickett, kind of a 1-year wonder.
Yeah, so it'll be that's first quarterback off the board to Detroit.
Yeah, as far as when I've been listening to a lot of the analysts talk about the quarterbacks, Kenny Pickett is typically the guy that they put at the front as far as being the most pro ready. He could step into an offense the soonest and make something happen on an NFL field.
Yeah, interesting that this pick, they jumped up in front of Houston, who picks now here at 13 and grabbed Pickett.
So
maybe
were they hearing things that the Texans were in on Pickett?
Maybe that, that's kind of the consensus, with a lot of these picks or a lot of these trades that happen. They're moving up.
Something just happened.
Yeah, that's weird.
My PFF just updated and it now says Jamison Williams.
Now it does say Jamison Williams. So what?
So who is it?
Because you guys saw that too, right?
Yeah,
Kenny
Pickett
Pickett
that's why I started talking about Pickett.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now
jumped up
Jamison Williams, which kind of made what we thought was going to be. Wow. So now being ahead of the TV is burned us.
Yeah, we look like a couple of idiots.
Justin's going to say it's because he left.
Yeah. I just don't know. I mean, I'll be interested to see what happens here on the live broadcast when, they catch up. Because I got a text that said, wow. I don't know what they were texting, if they were talking about, I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know. We'll see what's going on.
Because on the TV, they're showing Pickett right now.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend or whoever that is looks like she's about to barf. Am I the only one seeing that? She looks nervous as crap. Oh God, I hope he doesn't get picked and break up with me.
She just doesn't want. She doesn't want to move to Detroit.
You guys ever see that picture? This is like in honor of the draft. We remember when Russell Wilson's ex-wife thought she secured it for the bag for the rest of her life. I know that face just screams, "I'm crazy." Makes me like super scared that I'm married. I guess I'm not a millionaire. But my God, that is insane. I mean, no wonder that didn't last.
Yeah. Well, if this pick is Jamison Williams, I mean, I think you said.
Oh my gosh, Eagles just trade up to pick number 13. So if it's looking like
I think we're getting a run on receivers here.
Like Jamison Williams is who went at 12. Now you get the Eagles jump up to 13.
That could be a Treylon Burks pick.
Yeah, they need a wide receiver, and all of a sudden the Eagles are sitting there, and all these guys are still there, and now everybody's trading up in front of them to get them.
Yeah, yep. Because I saw a lot of mocks where some of these guys would, be going to like the Chiefs and the Packers later on in the first round, and we might not even get to pick 15, and all these top 5 guys are going to be gone.
So I want to know what happened. Did somebody say Pickett, and then they changed their somebody tackled the guy who was carrying the card? Wait, stop.
Jamison Williams was the pick at pick 12, but yeah, I mean, the pick is in on the TV. Could you imagine if they had that big of a blunder and Pickett's walking out
Who's
and
doing
then
this,
there's
Steve Harvey?
hey, no. I mean, man.
Did you guys get have that problem, Kenny Pickett? Did that show up for you guys at all?
This has got to be the run on receivers now for sure.
Breakdown in the trade that
just looking at the trade.
Yep.
Yeah, so then that would leave Burks as that last kind of top tier, top 5 receiver.
Ian just said it showed Pickett, so it's really.
Oh,
here we go. Here's the Lions pick. We're gonna watch this here.
We're watching this here live, or not live, but on our delay. Let's see.
Okay, so it's Jamison Williams.
Jamison Williams, but I wonder why it flashed Pickett. Something happened.
PFF had it up on the tracker.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting fired.
Yes, they are.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, talk about a guy. I mean, you don't even know how much he's going to play in his first year, and they just traded up to grab him at 12.
That's the thing about Williams. Yeah, he could miss.
What are you doing if you're Houston trading out of this one here? I mean, you had your pick at the wide receiver that you need, and now there is kind of after Burks, there is kind of a drop off of first round talent wide receivers. Am I wrong?
No, I think you're right. Yeah.
I mean, because Olave's gone, Dotson from Penn State and Pickens are the next 2 on my list of.
You got it. I mean, they only traded down 2 spots.
Right, but I'm saying they need a wide receiver. If they trade to the Eagles here and the Eagles take the last remaining wide receiver,
they need everything.
Yeah,
but I was.
So for me though, this tells me right now.
You think this is Burks here to the Eagles?
I kind of do, yeah. And I'm thinking that any of that speculation of George Pickens being there at 44 is gone. He won't even make it past 20.
Yeah, he's probably gone in the first round.
Yeah, he'll be a first rounder if this is the way it's going to go. Sky Moore will probably be a first rounder. I mean,
the other guy here that the Eagles have been tied to is Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame.
Okay, yeah,
another guy that they've been tied to because the Ravens kind of need that secondary help.
Yeah, but
So
if
I
you
could
think
see
the Ravens are sitting here at 14.
they're licking their chops because they could get Kyle Hamilton, who could be their premier safety on their team, or they can go Jordan Davis and just wreck everybody's defense like they always do.
And think about the
They're
division.
so lucky.
Think about the division the Ravens play in too. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt in Cleveland, Joe Mixon in Cincinnati,
Najee Harris.
Najee in Pittsburgh. I mean, Davis would be kind of a perfect pick for them.
It's kind of a good point. In the chat, people are talking about this is pick 13. This was the Browns' original pick.
Yeah.
So it just – oh, wow, okay. Well, I guess we don't have to worry about Jordan Davis playing in Baltimore.
Wow. They traded up to get him before Baltimore.
They knew it, yep.
You know that he's not going to be there.
Thank you, Philly.
Philadelphia.
Oh, my God. Suck on that, Aaron Butler.
Okay, but here, now you got, okay, so
awesome.
Jordan Davis, I mean, a guy whose stock kind of really rose because I don't think he was a good talent. And then this season, he kind of made a big leap into being one of the top prospects coming out of Georgia. He's a big guy.
It says comically large.
That's how I refer to myself.
Yeah, I mean, big
as
guy to
powerful
get.
a defensive tackle as we've seen in recent football.
Man, I'm happy he's not in Baltimore.
Yes.
Okay, so
That's
now
just always-
Baltimore. Baltimore, you got Burks is there. They need wide receiver help.
Yeah. But
And
who's going
then-
to throw them the ball?
Well, it might not be Lamar for much longer. They can't get a contract figured out.
Now, before we traded for Watson, everybody liked to give us crap that we hadn't extended Baker yet, especially Ravens
Who's
fans.
laughing now?
But yet they're sitting there with a guy who hasn't been extended yet, getting close to the season, and Lamar is negotiating his own contract. So I doubt he's going to negotiate during the season. If it's not done before the season starts, I would imagine he's going to play this year without the extension.
Yeah, I really don't want to see Kyle Hamilton go to them either, though.
Now it's just another guy in the secondary to, yep.
I mean, he's a 6'4" safety. His comparisons, Derwin James, has been okay
Sucks.
in the NFL. They say elite athleticism, rare versatility, great in coverage. This guy, he's just another one of those guys that could just be an interception waiting to happen.
Yeah.
They used to have a safety that was pretty good, kind of tormented us for years. I think he's in the Hall of Fame now. Ed Reed, you might have heard of him.
Once or twice, yeah.
Okay, so while we're filling some time here, first of all, guys, we have lots of time to fill here. Call in. We got the
DF's calling in soon here.
Oh, is he wake up? His mom wake him up?
She must have.
Derek, wake up! Frozen
dog's
pizza's ready.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Derek.
Throwing digs at Derek.
Oh, I just like to give him a hard
We're going to
time.
have one less person follow us.
Yeah. Oh, we just lost a Patreon member. But no, if you guys want to get in on the show, though, if we can squeeze you in before Derek, if not, we'll get you in after. Send an email to bark@thedogspodcast.com. Just tell us who you are, where you're from. Producer Kyle will respond to that email in kind with the link for you to call into the show. So if that interests you, you want to tell us what you think of the draft so far, tell us who you think the Browns are going to take. Just let us know your thoughts. Help us fill some time here in the draft, because we're amateurs. We're not professionals. Even though, it might seem like we're professionals, but really we're not.
Well, we're professionals at some things.
Yes.
Just not at draft and analysis and all that.
Or podcasting or being professional or really anything. So help us out here. Call into the show, bark@thedogspodcast.com. Like I said, if we can squeeze you in before Derek jumps in, awesome. I don't know why he's calling in if he was asleep. How's he going to recap the first round?
Well, I've been talking to him. He's like, I'm getting caught up.
Oh.
I'm getting caught up.
Mom made me cereal. I'm reading.
This is only the second best NFL day of the year.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I told him to email you.
Okay, so Ravens here on the clock. What are you thinking?
What do you think about George Karlaftis? Edge rusher.
He's a mensch.
I honestly, edge rusher. I mean, they got Owe right?
Yep.
Last year, who we loved to you know in the draft. We really liked him, and then I mean he's a freak athlete that they were able to steal last year in the draft. Bateman last year in their draft, kind of waiting to see what he's really going to be for them. Lamar was hurt a lot last year, but their defense, I don't even know if it really matters who plays defense for them. Their schemes week in and week out are always perfect.
Yeah.
I feel like they never really lose a game because their defense played bad.
Who are we talking about?
The Ravens. Goodness sakes, you're talking about the Ravens. I said I don't think that really who they put on their defense, they always play well.
No, I agree. Is there on the clock here? You think they're taking a little extra time because you think they thought Jordan Davis was
Jordan
they had it in the bag?
Can you imagine all the Ravens fans that were just like sitting back, like we said?
They're like, Eagles are definitely going receiver. We got Davis. Can't wait to get onto the Dawgs podcast YouTube page and troll them. That's how I imagine they all talk. But no.
We do get a lot of rat birds on our comments, just having fun, and then they get destroyed because the Browns fans are pretty awesome. So,
right?
How about the skill? By the way, that was at Ohio State.
Yeah, I saw that comment too.
I mean, Jamison Williams was at Ohio State. He couldn't get on the field.
Yeah,
pick is in.
Like 3 Buckeyes in a row. I mean, we're not going to claim him. He had a great season for Alabama, but all 3 of those guys were on Ohio State's roster at one point.
Yeah, they were. You know what? Bring in Derek, and then Zach. We'll kick it off with the pick. Maybe Derek, you there?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I see you're not doing video tonight, huh?
Yeah,
It's
did
okay.
You tell
It's
them what
okay.
happened
No
to me?
explanations needed.
Are you in your Batman pajamas?
Dude, oh my gosh. Imagine waiting for the draft all year long and you just pass out. Dude,
I can't imagine that.
All right, so did you see who the rat birds just picked?
No, I did not.
All right, go ahead, Zach.
Safety out of Notre Dame, Kyle Hamilton to the Ravens.
No, that is not good. Oh, shoot.
Well, it was either him or Jordan Davis, so I guess either way we were going to be facing somebody on defense.
Yep.
Man, what
Well, I'm glad you woke up from your nap for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the first round so far? Were you able to catch up?
Yep, I got it up in front of me. Trayvon Walker ended up being the number 1 overall pick. That was something I almost wondered if that was a smoke screen, but he was the pick. Lions get Hutchinson. Good for all the Michigan men up there. Derek Stingley Jr. was shocking to me. I know there was smoke with him being higher than Sauce Gardner, but just the fact that he was the pick blows my mind. The Texans, not that they're wasting that pick, but I think Sauce Gardner could be one of the best in the league. Kayvon Thibodeau, great pick at number 5 for the Giants. This is somebody who was talked about as the number 1 overall pick not that long ago. So we'll see how he works out in the Big Apple with his personality. Ike Ekwonu, great pick by the Panthers. Evan Neal, can't be mad at that for the Giants. Drake London being the first receiver off the board at number 8 was kind of surprising because I did think they would take Jamison Williams. Charles Cross to the Seahawks, desperately need protection there. Garrett Wilson to the Jets. I feel bad for him, but that's a heck of a first 2 picks. Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. If you're a Jets fan, you cannot be any happier with that. Olave and then Williams. Back-to-back Buckeye / Bama, I guess you want to call him, but what a wild draft this has been.
Yeah, you imagine if you would have watched it in real time.
Oh, I know.
Was there any? Are you surprised that the Panthers didn't take the quarterback?
No, I'm not surprised just because I thought that the Panthers are going to be one of these teams that, again, we all know they're in on Baker, or allegedly they're in on Baker. At this point, it just didn't make sense to me to pull the trigger on a rookie quarterback because you're trying to find out what Matt Rule is, and I don't think you can get a proper judgment on him with a rookie. I think they are going to end up trading for either Baker or Jimmy Garoppolo.
just to kind of get a more fair idea right now as far as Matt Rule and his future. Because if they did take a rookie quarterback here and start him, I think you're looking at a Matt Nagy situation there in Chicago, to where you have 1 year and then he's out the door. And I don't think that's a good thing. So I wasn't too surprised, but the board has fallen interesting. I did think Malik Willis at 2 was a possibility. So the fact that he's still on the board here kind of blows my mind.
It's actually gone pretty well from a Browns fan perspective. The teams that we were hoping to still need a quarterback after round 1, they all still need a quarterback, keeping them in the Baker Mayfield sweepstakes. So I feel like as a Browns fan, not having a first-round pick, you just wanted to see certain things go our way. And I think so far to this point, other than Baltimore getting Hamilton, it's gone our way. I can't complain about it.
Yeah, definitely. The receiver situation here, though, guys, I think it is definitely intriguing because the way the board's fallen, if Treylon Burks goes off the board, if Jahan Dotson goes off the board, what are we going to do? I hate to be that guy, but we're in a tough spot here. With the run on receivers, we might get stuck, but
I think this could be kind of like Zach was saying before while you were sleeping, Derek, about John Mechie.
Yeah, somebody
maybe
that.
being one of those players in the second round, depending on how this wide receiver run goes. But
who's this Ross guy out of Clemson?
Justin Ross.
Yeah.
When I talked to Brian Bosarge from DraftCountdown.com, he was not high on Justin Ross. Don't exactly remember his reasoning. I just remember him instantly saying no.
What about
there's still quite a few receivers.
Oh, probably Justin Ross's prior spinal surgery might have had something.
Oh, you know what it was? It was a lot of issues that he's had with his neck too.
What about the dude out of Purdue? What was his name?
David Bell.
George Karlaftis?
No, Bell.
Receiver David Bell.
Okay.
I admitted at the start of the show, I didn't get to do a ton of draft research, but I watched him play some this year, and he stood out to me. I don't know what he's projected at going. Do you think if at 44 we're going to be still in the market for receiver? Do you think it's going to be more defensive line now with this run on receivers?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question at this point. As far as David Bell, no chance in hell that he's 44. There's a lot of talk about him going into like the 3rd, 4th round, if that. A lot of people are not high on him at all, which kind of surprised me a bit. But the testing for him, teams are just not high on, is what I've heard. I think I'll say this, guys, just talking about this conversation of the Browns, what do they do? Wide receiver line. At this point, I'd be thrilled if we got a Sky Moore, if he fell to us. And I know there's a little bit of smoke with George Pickens and the stuff that kind of came out with him as a teammate. But at this point, I'm still stuck on wide receiver being the number 1 position of need. I think Malik McDowell, the stuff that came out with Zagura saying that he's coming back, essentially, kind of blows my mind. So at this point, I think it's receiver. It's just a matter of who falls into your lap, because they haven't taken a D tackle in above the 3rd round. So we'll see.
So say that again. You said Zagura said that McDowell's coming back even after his latest legal issue.
Yeah. Did you guys not see that?
I did not hear that. I mean, that'd be huge for the Browns.
Yeah. So Nathan Zagura,
the school systems.
Yeah, First Energy's not within 10 miles of a school, is it?
I don't hope not. He might not be able to make it to the game.
Yeah.
Nathan Zagura. Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. I definitely thought with what his issue was, I definitely thought he was done. By the way, congrats to Nathan Zagura, new color guy for the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Nate Zagura fan, so I'm excited to hear him on the broadcast with Jimmy Donovan. Do we want to announce the pick? Texans picks in on PFF.
Yeah, go ahead.
They went with guard Kenyon Green.
All right. Well, there you go.
Out of Texas A&M. They just really don't want to get any skill guys.
Yeah.
They're just okay with not scoring any points. They're going to try to not give up as many, but they're looking for a top pick next year.
I mean, if you want to evaluate Davis Mills, I guess they have Brandon Cook still?
Yeah, they still got him. I mean, obviously there was a bunch of things about maybe them trading him before the draft. I know there was ties that even the Browns were possibly looking at Cooks. But for the time being, he's still there. They had a couple good young wide receivers last year too. But
speaking of trades, have you seen the trade from the Baltimore Ravens to the Cardinals?
Somebody just threw that in the chat, and I'm trying to find the details on that. Did that really happen?
Ravens traded Hollywood Brown.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
To who?
To the Cardinals.
For what?
Yeah, I just got that alert too.
They must know that Lamar can't throw him the ball. I mean,
Arizona Cardinals trading number 23 to the Ravens for 100 and Hollywood Brown.
Okay, so that makes the Kyle Hamilton and not drafting Burks. So now they only have Bateman, and Sammy Watkins isn't there anymore.
So if they go with a Burks, now you're
But that's all the way down at pick 23. He might not be there.
And your number 1 and your number 2 receiver would be a second-year guy who didn't play much. And, I mean, he was injured a decent amount last year, wasn't he? Bateman?
Yeah, Bateman was.
And
yeah,
then
he was
a
out
rookie.
the first.
That's going to be your 2 guys that you're rolling out with your 1 and your 2.
Unless they are just
we're just always going to run
we can't do receivers here.
Right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We just throw to Mark Andrews and then run the ball for 400 yards a game.
Do you want to get Kenny Mack on here?
Yeah, is he back? Is it better?
I don't know. We're going to find out.
So we getting rid of Derek?
We could try to bring them both in
we can
here.
have them both.
Kenny, what's up, man?
Hey, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we got you good this time.
Yeah, I was just stepping on the tram when I was on there, so I had that speaker blasting in my ear telling us this is the next stop. This is where you're going to go next. And then I'm trying to hear you guys at the same time. So I'm just like, I got to get off here. This is getting too complicated. So, but I'm back. I'm ready. We're watching the draft. We actually moved out of the downtown area, and we're with the Las Vegas Browns backers. And we're out here.
Nice.
Yeah, we're out here at the Sporting Life Bar, and they got a good mix of craft beers. They're kind of set up like they have like a rotating betting line going around, and then they have a whole bunch of TVs on. So the NFL Network's on, ESPN's on. It's super fun. It's a big oval type bar, so like Browns fans are all the way around the bar. So it's super cool. And we just saw, I think the Ravens were picking at this point, and but everything looks pretty good, and we're having a blast.
Awesome. Hey, tell those Vegas Browns backers.
You see this last pick?
Tell them about the Dawgs podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing my shirt.
That's a jump.
This receiver run is going to be for real. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Kenny,
no
sorry,
doubt.
We're kind of cutting over you here, but the wide receivers that are coming off the board right now, we're seeing guys that we were thinking maybe late first round, second round picks as
They're
receiver.
middle first round guys.
They're middle first round guys. Jahan Dotson from Penn State just got picked by the Washington Commanders at 16. Yeah.
Oh my
I think you're seeing a shift in mentality from the NFL. Receivers are a premium. You put enough good ones out there, it doesn't matter how good the defense is.
And you're seeing a lot more of these younger receivers, like even before their first big contract, start to demand trades. Debo, you hear the rumblings from A.J. Brown and
Terry
Tennessee.
McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin. These guys want paid. They know what their value is right now in the NFL. And, I mean, the NFL knows it too, obviously. Look at who's getting picked right now.
I mean, the Browns. There's going to be nobody left by it. We thought, we're still early second round. We're going to grab some talent. No. I don't know who we're going to be picking. I'm going to have to go home and do Googling all night.
Andrew Berry's going to have to get that checkbook out again and go see who's out there that's a veteran.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, you guys?
Kenny,
Derek?
How long are you going to be out in Vegas?
We're leaving Saturday at 11 p.m. Vegas time. So I'm here for the entire draft. The big day for us is tomorrow, obviously, we start with pick 44. I'm hoping for George Pickens, but, I mean, I'm hearing what you guys are saying. Is there going to be anybody left?
Next.
We're going to have to go
tackle
or something, man. Like, I don't know.
I mean, the Chargers are on the clock
then,
now, and it says their number one needs wide receiver.
What?
I find that a little hard to believe that's their number one.
Yeah, it says their number one needs wide
Keenan Allen,
receiver,
Mike
tackle,
Williams, they
and
got
cornerback.
Guyton, they got Josh Palmer.
They got a lot of weapons out there. Herbert.
I think if the Chargers were smart, they would go corner here, pair him up with J.C. Jackson and Asante Samuel.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
See that, man. But yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah, the wide receivers. I mean, what is it in the last? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 out of like the last 9 picks have been wide receivers or something like that.
It's crazy. Can you believe that the Cardinals just gave up a first-round pick for Hollywood Brown?
Yeah, did you see that, Kenny Mack?
No,
Hollywood Brown gone
that's
from the
crazy.
Ravens, and he's an Arizona Cardinal now.
No, I didn't see
What
that.
the
That's
Cardinals
crazy,
do?
man.
Yeah, they traded a first-round pick for Hollywood Brown. Especially,
Was he really worth that?
No. Oh my God.
He was a first-round pick.
Yeah,
when the Ravens took him, he never lived up to it. Why would you draft?
It is a better fit though with Arizona, I do believe. I think he'll be used a lot better. His speed with Kyler Murray.
But they got that whole issue with Kyler Murray right now.
And Kyler Murray, I'm just not 100% sold on the guy. I haven't been for 2 years now. He's wildly inconsistent. He's yet to put a whole season together. And I think he's a little bit of a head case.
Yeah.
What, Kenny, are you surprised no quarterbacks have been taken yet?
I'm not surprised. This draft kind of reminds me of the draft when Geno Smith got when he was drafted way back in the day. I think he went first quarterback and he was in the second round. And just with the talent that's there with receiver, DE, and corner, those guys are they're the premium this year, and people are just going to wait on quarterbacks, I guess.
We kind of talked about this. You got to be happy if you're a Browns fan. All these teams that we feel need a quarterback, they still need one. They haven't picked a quarterback yet. So it's boding well for us to possibly unload Baker at some point this weekend. Do you think we do that?
I would think you have to, and I think there's got to be a lot of smoke screens around this, because you can't tell me that Baker isn't better than any quarterback that's in this draft right now, you know? And like maybe there's some raw talent and they can develop him, but at this point, if you want to win, I think Baker can get you there. I didn't dislike Baker. I was talking to the Uber guy about that on the way here, and basically I said, like, I didn't hate on Baker, but we had got Deshaun Watson now, and it's kind of like having, like, I'd rather have $10,000 in the bank than 1,000. You know what I mean? And he's just that much better, you know?
Right. 1,000's good, but 10,000's better.
Yeah, and Deshaun's my 10,000, man.
Amen to that. So the pick just came in from the Chargers. We don't have to worry about them taking a receiver. They took Zion Johnson, the guard out of Boston College. Wow. Looking down the rest of at least the first round here, you know, the Eagles are back up. They could go receiver. The Saints already took one. The Steelers are after them. But you got the Patriots that are listed as wide receivers. Their number one need. Then the Packers get to pick twice. The Chiefs are picking twice. Tennessee can use a receiver. Buffalo could use a receiver. Dallas could take a receiver.
You could see at 19 and 20 with the Saints going to be on the clock after the Eagles pick right now, and then the Steelers, you could see a quarterback. I think the first quarterback off the board, one of those two picks.
Man, if Malik Willis falls into their lap, this is going to be, I don't want to say nightmare scenario because I know he's very raw, but I'm telling you what, man, that is not good. And also, I don't know if you guys saw, there is a trade. There's a major trade.
Whoa. Yeah, I just popped in, man. A.J. Brown going to the Eagles.
Really?
Jeez, man, these guys are getting moved.
Treylon Burks replacing A.J. Brown.
Wow.
So, wait, the Eagles trade out of that spot?
Let me go see.
They trade out at 18.
They have to. Tennessee's got to get that pick.
Yeah.
And then they're going to use it to take another receiver. You'd have to get. Man, you cannot trade A.J. Brown for Tennessee. Who do you got now? A 50-year-old Julio?
He's not even on their team.
No, yeah, duh. I mean, who do they got now?
Man, that's crazy. But like I just said a little bit ago, these guys in their first contracts.
Okay, I got it up here.
Okay.
So they are getting 18. It says the Eagles are trading Titans receiver A.J. Brown. Tennessee gets the number 18 pick and more. That's all it says.
Yeah, I'm seeing another 3rd round pick.
I'll tell you guys right now, this really does make getting Amari Cooper for what we got him for look awesome.
Oh my God, Andrew Berry, every time just keeps looking better and better every single pick. No way we can sit and think that a receiver is going to be available now. I mean,
yeah,
this could be a situation where the Browns, if they either take best available, even if it like either the defensive side or something like that, or they just trade out of that pick.
Yeah.
If nobody's there, and then you just piggyback on something later in the draft and get more players for the value, because wide receivers, they're not going to. I mean, we named a couple guys like later, like a John Mechie, Ross, some talented guys, but are they worth jumping all the way up at 44 to take them? I don't know.
Man, if you're the Titans, what are you? You didn't want to pay him? Who are you paying?
Yeah, we just talked about how wide receivers are such a premium. I mean, are they putting the injury history risk, kind of thing into A.J. Brown, saying we can't give you this money because we just don't feel you're going to be on the field as much as.
I mean, obviously the centerpiece of that offense is Derrick Henry, no doubt.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But only for another year or two, probably.
Yeah, and I mean, you still have to be able to move the ball through the air, and I like Tannehill as a starting quarterback, but he's got to have a little bit of help around him. He's not the kind of guy who's going to be like elevating B-rated receivers. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yep.
This is one of the things that's awesome about draft night, because moves like this, that are just coming out of left field. Like nobody thought Hollywood Brown was going to move, and then just a couple minutes later, A.J. Brown moves.
Unbelievable. And do you think? I think A.J. Brown fits in well with the Eagles because Jalen Hurts, he's good off script.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And A.J. Brown's a big physical receiver to go up and get the ball.
Obviously they must have had something working, because when the Eagles jumped up to 13, we thought, they're taking a wide receiver because we got this long run. Nope, joke's on you. We're getting A.J. Brown in a few minutes. We're going to take Jordan Davis to shore up our defensive side of the ball. Yeah. So now they're going to have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and still have Dallas Goedert in the tight end room.
And the
Eagles making some moves.
And they're going to push for that division because the
Cowboys got worse. The Cowboys got worse this offseason, didn't get any better. So
Kenny Mack, what do you think of that trade? A.J. Brown going to the Eagles.
Oh, man, that's insane. Like A.J. Brown, like if we could have got that pick, I'd be all over that. The guy's he's a beast, and just with his speed and his overall like size, that's amazing. And man, I just wish we could have pulled the trigger, but I mean, clearly we've done our due diligence on a lot of trades, so it wasn't going to happen.
Terry McLaurin.
I did. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, I did run the 40 today at the NFL Experience, and I blew those 10-year-olds out of the water. So maybe a contract's coming my way.
What'd you run?
I think I ran a 4.8 flat. Not too bad for 46 years old.
Yeah. Okay.
I had it.
Did you really run a
4.8? I did a 20. I got to look at the video because my girlfriend taped it. And I'll send you the video. I think I can take. I'm pretty sure I can take Rich Eisen down. That's for sure.
We might have to sign you for some speed on the outside. You could play linebacker for us.
That's right, man. I think I could take Jarvis in a race.
Low blow. We're trying to get him back, man. Jeez. Calm down.
We might have to have him back.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, man,
honestly, the way this draft is going,
receivers are going. We got to take him back.
And so, do you think? I know the Saints were kind of in on him a little bit. They're at least looking at it. They have, if Michael Thomas is healthy, they just took Olave. Now Jarvis, if Jarvis were to sign with the Saints, they went from a team where I thought wasn't real contenders to all of a sudden they got
some pieces
in place, especially if Kamara stays out of prison. They got some pieces in place for you can at least evaluate Jameis Winston this year if that's the case, because he's going to have some pieces around him.
And, they have Jameis, but they also signed Andy Dalton to be their backup this year. So it's not like their backup's Ian Book like it was last year that had to play.
So did you see the pick then for Tennessee?
What do you got?
They swapped A.J. Brown for Treylon Burks, wide receiver out of Arkansas.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
so they traded one receiver on the rookie deal who wanted big money to get out of here. We'll just bring in another cheap guy.
Now the thing is, though, Treylon Burks, this is what happens. You draft a rookie receiver and you're taking the risk that he's not going to be the guy.
Yes, and A.J. Brown is very much the guy.
The guy, yes.
Wow.
To me, that just, I don't know. If anybody's a Tennessee fan listening or anything, let us know what's going on. But I feel like that was real dumb.
So New Orleans has the 19th pick on my board, if that's correct. We gotta be praying.
Should be on there.
We gotta be praying to God they take Malik Willis. I'm sorry, but I cannot
you don't want
let
him in Pittsburgh?
fall. No. Nope.
I think if Willis goes here, Pickett goes next. I think the Steelers are taking. I think the Steelers are taking a quarterback.
Let Pickett go to Pittsburgh. He's got those tiny hands. Myles Garrett will have 12 strip sacks. He'll just have to flick it out of his little tiny hand.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Somebody posted in here. Ravi Bain said that the Patriots are talking to 49ers about Debo. I don't know if we got any sources on that or if Ravi's our main source, but if he's as connected as I think he is, look out for that. Patriots talking to the Niners about Debo. They said they're not trading him, but
okay. And so just going kind of back to the Tennessee making that trade, they get Treylon Burks. Remember, they did trade for Robert Woods this year too.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We forgot about Robert Woods.
So they got Robert Woods to go with Treylon Burks.
I would still rather have Robert Woods with A.J. Brown, but hey.
I agree.
Yes.
The Eagles just extended him on a 4-year, $100 million.
Who, Brown?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that didn't take long.
Jeez.
They had that written up yesterday, apparently.
Good Lord.
Holy cow.
NFL will be looking into that for some tampering.
Yeah. That's going to get
$57 million guaranteed.
Man. All right, DF. We got you for a little bit, or you got to roll?
I'll stay with you. I got to run here in a minute, but I'll stay with you through the Steelers pick. I think.
All right, you want to see? Yeah, got to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Well, hey fellas, I am out of here.
All right, man. We
All right,
appreciate
Kenny.
you joining us, Kenny.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
have
Kenny,
a good time.
good
Stay
talking to
safe.
Yeah, have a blast, guys. I hope everything falls our way. Like we get some kind of receiver tomorrow because I see the free agent receivers left. I don't really like what's left. I think we can at least get some serviceable DEs or DTs out of the free agency. So let's see what happens tomorrow, fellas.
Yep. All right, Kenny. Thank you, man.
See you, Kenny.
Hey,
Yeah, this wide receiver thing is nuts.
Not NFL draft news, but Chris Paul just had the best shooting performance in NBA history. In
I
the
saw
playoffs.
at one point he was 12 of 12.
13. He ended 13 of 13 for 33 points.
They win.
Or sorry, 14 of 14 is what he finished.
Did he win?
Yeah, they won.
That's CP, man. He just.
Keeps
I
doing
thought
it.
he was done 5 years ago, and he just career resurgence.
Sorry, I just saw that.
Somebody says Ara is saying apparently the Ravens are trying to trade 23 for Debo. By the way,
I mean, they have to have some type of deal like that.
Actually, that would
They're
make
trying
more
to work.
sense for their offense.
Yeah, could you imagine that? I don't want that to happen either. I mean, goodness sakes, Debo to Baltimore. Could you imagine that?
After they got Kyle Hamilton,
he'd be their backup quarterback.
Yeah, they wouldn't throw a pass. It's like 1940. By the way, good for Ara. Still awake. It's like 3 a.m. over there right now in Scotland.
No kidding, man.
and I can't stay awake for the start of the draft. Good Lord.
Well,
in your own time zone.
You were probably up early for school today.
Yeah, definitely. I've gotten 6 hours of sleep in the last 2 days. That's how long.
I don't
this
want to
has been
hear it,
going.
man. I got a newborn at home. Look
Well.
at me going strong.
I won't have that problem.
For background information, I just like to tease Derek because he's younger than me, but you can make fun of me for being old.
So I threw up a poll a little bit ago in the chat here, just said who's going to be the first quarterback taken. And it's been running for, 20 minutes or so. We got 67% Malik Willis, 27% Kenny Pickett, and 6% say other. Who would the other be? Like a Desmond Ritter?
Corral?
Yeah. Matt Corral?
Yeah.
If they get Ritter, I would be thrilled.
This Debo thing to the Ravens
this is going to be interesting.
Scary.
That's what's got
scary.
me.
I hope he goes to the Patriots.
The thing is Debo said he didn't want to be that hybrid guy anymore, and you have to think
That's
if
true.
the Ravens are going to bring him in, it's because he is that hybrid kind of guy. Could you imagine Debo and Lamar in the backfield together with a rehabilitated Dobbins next? Oh Jesus! Oh man, that's not good.
Yeah, we got some kind of nervous things to watch here with the Steelers and the Ravens.
Man,
coming up.
not gonna lie, first 10 picks of the draft,
yeah, it's kind of boring.
Ever since Justin left, we just want to invite him back.
Yeah, get him the hell out of here.
Oh, I missed Justin.
Yeah, missed Justin. He was here.
Yeah, he was
actually.
here. Yeah, he was here. He had his Cleveland jacket on the night.
Yep.
I don't think I've seen Justin in 5 years, it feels like.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
We went from only ever having like 2 of us in here to tonight there was 5 of us.
Yeah, we actually have Kyle in the house tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what the Saints are doing here at this pick, but they're just taking their good old time. Picks were just flying in.
Yeah. Probably. I wonder if they're
like crap.
Are they feeling out trades?
They got to maybe
because it says their needs are QB, wide receiver, and tackle. They already addressed wide receiver. I'd have to think they're happy with Jameis Winston for at least this year.
In this draft, quarterback is not a need for the
Correct.
Saints.
So, and then it says their other needs tackle. I could definitely see them trying to trade out of this spot because you have to think a team like
somebody's going to want to get in front of
the Packers
Pittsburgh.
and the Chiefs got to be looking to come up to try to get somebody to play wide receiver.
Yeah, if you're the Packers, you're kind of like a loser right now. You lose Devontae, and you think, oh, we'll be able to grab one of these guys.
Saints made a pick. They picked Trevor Penning, tackle out of Northern Iowa.
So the
That's that dude I kept
Steelers
seeing videos
get
about.
Malik Willis.
That's what it's looking like.
Shoot.
I don't know why. I'm just not that scared about it. I don't know. Maybe because I didn't watch him play that much. I'm not that nervous about him.
Malik Willis is not he's not a big guy. We saw what happened when you've got a not big guy at quarterback. I mean, I think he's 6'1". What is he? 6'1", 215?
Yeah. I got it listed at 6'1", 220.
Okay.
Strengths are his arm strength, elite athleticism, and instinctual playmaking. His player comp is Jalen Hurts with turbo boosters.
Okay.
So faster version of Jalen Hurts.
Well,
to me, I think, and this is not just because we have Deshaun Watson, I think that Malik Willis is kind of a hybrid of Kyler Murray and Deshaun Watson. If he can, he's just so raw at this point. This is going to be a project for them. So when I say I don't want them to get Malik Willis, it's not because of right now. I mean, if we strapped up and play tomorrow, I don't think there's any chance they win. But when you look at the long term with him, with his raw abilities, he's in an organization where they're going to be able to hopefully, develop him and get the best out of him. Man, that's scary to me.
You don't think they're taking Kenny Pickett?
I think there's no chance.
So,
I mean, I'd be pleasantly surprised.
Player comps that I got. So Malik Willis, we said Jalen Hurts just a little bit faster is what I got for him. Desmond Ritter, who's listed as, they're all kind of listed together. He's got shades of Daniel Jones, but in a good way. Don't know what.
What's the good way?
Don't know what the good way is there. Kenny Pickett's comp is Tony Romo. That's his comp.
Here's the thing: is I think Tony Romo is a really good quarterback. I mean,
he was.
dropping the snap on the hold is kind of that was bad. But I mean, he was a pretty freaking good quarterback.
Yeah.
Matt Corral is a mini Marcus Mariota.
Oh, yeehaw.
And then you got Sam Howell out of North Carolina. His player comp.
Is it me?
Baker Mayfield with wheels. That's his comp.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. Actually, you know what? Gage Tucker did just comment in here. I'm glad he said that. I forgot about that. He said Mike Tomlin loves Malik Willis. At the Senior Bowl, I heard a lot about how Mike Tomlin just kind of latched on to Malik Willis and just kind of followed him around everywhere. Right, Derek? You remember this? He was like asking him questions and just watching everything he did.
So the big thing with Pittsburgh, and I think that ties to Kenny Pickett, is the University of Pittsburgh and the Steelers share the same training facility. So
they've seen firsthand how small his hands are.
Yeah. Well, if there's a team in the NFL that knows Kenny Pickett, it's definitely the Steelers. So, I mean, if he's their guy, and I mean, that's obviously where they'll go. I think that if they need a quarterback, they have to pick one here because they're not going to have another opportunity.
Yeah, you know what? I had forgotten the whole thing about Mike Tomlin with Malik Willis-Gage. I'm glad you said that. That's making me, Derek, think a lot that this is going to be Willis.
I would be blown away if it's not. I'll say that.
Yeah. Yep. And they just sat there at 20 and let it go, let it fall.
Yeah, because there was a lot of talks. I know the biggest kind of rumor was that the first quarterback was going to go somewhere around 12 is where the thought process was, and it was who was going to jump up there to get it. Mm-hmm. And the tail of the tape today is you jumped up to get wide receivers you wanted.
Man, this receiver run has been crazy. And the trades?
Buckeyes set NFL draft history of having 2 wide receivers taken in the first round consecutively back-to-back.
Wow.
Nice.
First time that's ever happened.
Used to seeing that.
3 if Jameson Williams would have stayed on the team.
Yeah.
Although, if you would have stayed on the team, you wouldn't have played, so you wouldn't have been picked.
True. Yep.
Right.
It's crazy that a guy taken, where did he go, 12th, 13th?
12th, I believe.
And he couldn't get on the field for the Buckeyes. It tells you the wide receiver talent that has been accumulated in Columbus.
Brian Hartline, wide receiver coach down there, he knows what he's doing. They're making pro-ready receivers.
They got a few more already ready.
Oh, my gosh. Do they ever?
We were bringing in that Rose Bowl, we were playing guys who hadn't played all year.
Harrison.
They were number 1 recruits.
I can't think of the other guy's name.
Jackson Smith and Njigba?
Yes, Njigba. I can't think of his name.
Derek, how excited are you for Njigba this year?
Well, I'm going to be honest. As excited as I am for JSN, I'm more excited for Marvin Harrison Jr., Emeka Buka. I mean, Julian Fleming was the number 1 receiver coming out, and he's not even been on the field hardly. So we talk about this room. You have that nuke right there.
Okay, sorry, Derek, going to cut you off. Pick is in. Kenny Pickett taking to the Steelers.
Did PFF just screw this up again? Is it going to change?
Yeah, so Derek, you weren't with us. We thought Pickett went at pick 12. It showed up on PFF, and then it switched 30 seconds later, Jameson Williams. So as of right now, I got Kenny Pickett to the Steelers at pick 20. Not surprising to me. I thought that's where they were going to go.
How crazy is it, though? That, the team that everybody – you just talked about how, he was attached to his hip, and they loved him, and that's all they talked about, and – they didn't take him, and he was there. They didn't have to move for him. They didn't have to do anything for him. He was there right for the taking. They didn't take him.
And this was their guy then.
I don't think he plays this year.
Unless
Mitch is awful or something in camp, and Kenny is, like if it's like a Russell Wilson, Matt Flynn situation. But
it won't. The leash that Mitch Trubisky, if he's the guy that's going to be your starter, is going to have is not going to be long.
If you sign Mitch, I wonder if they told Mitch that they were going to draft a first-round quarterback because he came to Pittsburgh, I think, because it gave him the best opportunity to be a starter.
I think it's a competition going into camp.
And now there's some pressure on him now. Like he's got to feel like I have to play well or I'm not going to be the guy. It's not a very relaxing situation to be in.
So that poll was way wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I do have to dip, unfortunately, but I appreciate you guys having me on. It's going to be interesting to see where Willis falls. Thank God they took Kenny Pickett. That's all I'm going to say.
That's right, man. Hey, everybody listening right now, go check out Derek's YouTube channel, DF Sports on YouTube. Got a lot of good Browns and Buckeyes content over there.
Yep, I appreciate it. And everybody have a good draft, and hopefully we get something. This is falling quite interesting. So
yes,
I will see you guys later. Happy draft day.
All right, man. Take care.
So that was another 10 picks. Do we want to take a quick commercial break here?
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead.
All right. Stick with us. We'll be right back after just a couple minutes. I'm thirsty again.
Welcome to the Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Zach Kopp, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
Hey, what's going on, Browns fans? I hope you're enjoying the live draft coverage tonight. And please, I want to invite everybody to join our Dawgs podcast community over on Patreon. Become an official member of the Dog Pack. Tons of diehard Browns fans in this community. A lot of fun. We've got a lot of great conversations going on. We got threads during the football season. We had 2 fantasy football leagues. The winners won some Dawgs merch from the show. It's just a great place to be if you're a Browns fan. You're going to meet Browns fans from all over the world. We've got people from Ireland. What's up, Luke? We've got people from Canada, Kenny. We got people out in California, Indiana, down in Kentucky, all the way around the world. I think we got our first Dog Pack member from over in the UK. So cheers. And I'll tell you guys what, you are missing out if you're not a part of the Dog Pack. Just for a minimum of $5, you can join. And you'll get an extra episode of the show every week called The Dawgs After Hours. We get a little bit uncensored and a little more candid than normal in there, but it's a ton of fun. We have a lot of great conversations. So please, if you're interested, check out jointhedawgs.com. Become an official Dog Pack member today.
Welcome to the Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Zach Kopp, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
This episode of the Dawgs Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. Listeners of this show can get 20% off their order plus free shipping worldwide with the promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, at manscaped.com. And if our math is correct, that's roughly 8 million balls. Sorry, not roughly. That's smoothly 8 million balls. Manscaped's Lawnmower 4.0 is the future of male grooming. This hair trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. Guys, if you've been using any other trimmer like I used to use, you know how lucky you are to walk out of the bathroom accident-free. Now, I've been using the Lawnmower 4.0 for about a year now, and I can tell you I always leave my worries at the door. The Lawnmower 4.0 is also waterproof, and it comes with a 4000K LED spotlight to help you achieve the most precise shave you'll ever get. So grab yourself the Performance Package 4.0, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0, along with the Weed Whacker nose and hair trimmer. But Manscaped isn't just hair trimmers. The Performance Package also includes the Crop Preserver Downstairs deodorant and Crop Reviver Downstairs toner. Manscaped also offers body wash, shampoos, conditioners, body sprays, colognes, and more. Manscaped used to say your balls will thank you, but now your whole body will thank you, and your ladies will too. Look, I'm a guy, and I know all you guys out there spend your days getting after it, busting your butt, breaking a sweat. But guys, your ladies still deserve a fresh-smelling man when you get home from work. So what are you waiting for? Order the Performance Package 4.0 today with promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, at manscaped.com. And Manscaped's also going to send you 2 free gifts with your order. They're going to send you a pair of Manscaped boxers, super comfortable, and the Shed travel bag so you can pack everything up and take it on the road. Get 20% off right now with free shipping at manscaped.com using promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
All right, teams, time to bet NFL games. Confidence.
I'm feeling a parlay with more legs than a spider.
So 9 legs?
Roll the dice, baby.
Indecision?
We pick one home favorite. I abstain.
You can't abstain.
Boring.
And we're back. All right. That's yeah, you know, I was ready. I was sat down.
You're not.
I wasn't.
Zach giving me crap for being
Putting my mic
prepared.
away.
I had to run out and get my championship ring to go with my
gosh, I forgot.
championship trophy.
I'll tell you what though.
This is a sick ring.
So Josh is the commish of this fantasy league, and you do pretty well, Josh. Now you won the trophy the 2 years, so no wonder it is as big as it is and all that. But that's nice. That's nice right there. Still can't believe you won, Blake.
It's a good trophy for sure.
This is a little off center. Could you send? Oh, okay, I fixed it. I almost had you send it back.
Send that in?
My trophy's not right. Okay, so we're gonna take this to the Ravens pick, which is in a few picks.
Whoa,
here.
Kansas City just traded up.
They needed a wide receiver.
They're
but
coming up for somebody.
They're all gone. So which one are you reaching for?
So Kansas City just traded up to 21 with New England. So New England obviously not going to be in on Debo.
So Kansas City trying to get up ahead of Green Bay.
Take a receiver. You
Who
would think.
Who do we think they're taking? I wonder if they're going to take like a Sky Moore, kind of to fill that Tyreek Hill void.
So we saw Dotson went, right? So he was the top one that was on the board last time I looked. Burks is Burks is gone. So Burks and Dotson gone. So the top one is George Pickens on my board right now. George Pickens and then Sky Moore that you mentioned.
I see Pickens being a better fit for Green Bay than Kansas City.
How about that? I saw was it that Green Bay? I'm pretty sure I saw it yesterday. We're trying to go after Darren Waller. I saw a lot of reports of that.
And everybody. So I've been following that, and they said the Raiders have absolutely zero interest in trading him and haven't even answered calls about trading him. Green Bay just wants him, so they're putting it out there to like create smoke, hoping that something will catch fire. But there's no chance that.
Well, I don't know why you'd want to get rid of him.
No, because the Raiders are building something.
Yeah.
So, like I said when we first came back, we're going to do these next few picks. We're going to take it up to the Ravens, wrap up the first-round picks for our division. Obviously, the Bengals pick 31, but we're not going to stick around for that. Zach's got to get up early, and I got to get home.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up. We appreciate you guys being here with us and sticking with us for this, going on like 3 hours now. We appreciate it. We're going to do these next couple picks, and then make sure you stay tuned because before we get out of here, we're going to announce the winner of the free Browns jersey. Again, we appreciate everybody who entered the contest. The reviews help us out a ton on Apple Podcasts. The more reviews we have, the easier we are to find on there and everything. And just the more exposure helps the show. We really appreciate everything, and we're excited to pick a winner, get you guys a free jersey. Again, remember, if you're the winner, answer the email, because we can't send you a jersey if we don't know who to send it to and we don't know what size to get you. So we will email you that you won, and we need to get your size and your address and that good stuff. So make sure you answer the email. To everybody else who entered, also make sure you answer your email so we know where to send the stickers, because we can't send it to you if we don't know where you live. This isn't Harry Potter world. I can't just send my owl out and he'll find you. So make sure you answer the email. And the pick is in for the Chiefs. They did not go offense.
Wow, okay.
Defense.
Drafted cornerback out of Washington, Trent McDuffie.
Interesting.
Says the PFF users would have picked Sky Moore, like you were thinking there, Josh. So interesting pick. But, I mean, playing in that division, you better have a defense for all the quarterbacks you're going to go up against there. Bringing in Russell Wilson into Denver. You already had Herbert. You have Carr. Like you said, they're reloading there. So maybe defense isn't a bad pick. And with maybe reaching for one of those other wide receivers at this point was just too much of a reach.
So I won't ask who's the best team in that division because that might be easier. Who's the worst team in that division? To me, it's probably the Broncos.
I for right now, because I got to see what Russell can do there, away from Seattle. But he's going to a team that's defensively is better than what he's leaving. Mm-hmm. They have some talented wide receivers. They have two good running backs. They re-signed Melvin Gordon. Then they still have Williams that they drafted last season.
Yep.
Tight ends they had to get rid of No Fant, so they need something there. But we've seen there's some talent there for tight ends in this draft.
I think the Raiders have a shot to be pretty good if Josh McDaniels has learned from his past coaching problems when he was in Denver. If he's good now, if he's a good coach, I mean, they're putting their defense. I like their defensive edge, Crosby and Ngakoue, and Devontae Adams and Derek Carr is going to be good. I mean, they played together in college. They already have a little bit of that chemistry.
Darren Waller, you got Darren Waller and Devontae Adams to worry about.
Yeah. That's as long as Darren Waller can stay healthy.
Yeah,
he missed a lot of time.
They still got running back Josh Jacobs. Kenyon Drake was there last year. I don't know if he's still around or if he was a free agent, but he played well for them in spurts. So both teams, all teams in that division have great offenses. So maybe the Chiefs are thinking we got to be able to stop somebody. we can't always rely on Patrick Mahomes to throw 450 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And win a game first to 40 wins.
I think in that division, you'd probably have to still say the Chiefs are the favorite, kind of until somebody takes them out.
Yeah.
You're gonna pick them.
Because everybody thought they were down last year. They started
they were under 500.
1-3 or something like that. And then all of a sudden, 6 weeks later, they were 7-3. So.
But the Chargers, I'm not completely sold on Brandon Staley as a head coach. I know for some reason
Go for it on every fourth down.
After, it worked against the absolutely atrocious early in the season Browns defense, everybody was blowing him about how good he was and his analytics and all that crap. How many times did that screw him over the course of the season? By the end of the year, he went from being the darling of the NFL to the end of the year, people were crapping on him left and right. I'm not completely sold on him. These guys who use analytics like a crutch, you got to use it as a tool.
Well, yeah, and the biggest thing with the Chargers and their team is you don't want to waste your cheap years of Justin Herbert in the way, because he's on a rookie deal. And eventually he's going to get his money just like a Joe Burrow is. So you're not going to be able to afford Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and all the top defensive players that you've got on your roster. So be interesting there. If they have a down year, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a coaching change. So Packers here on the clock needs wide receiver, tackle, guard, center. So they need offensive line. But, man, their best weapons aren't great, and the pick is in, and they went defense. They went linebacker Quay Walker out of Georgia.
So now I think you're starting to see that these top wide receivers that run on them, and now people aren't reaching.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
So.
Yep. Yeah, so maybe somebody will, might be there. But I think that the top wide receiver that was still available, like his overall position was 39, which is Pickens on my board, and then Sky Moore is 42, and we're only at pick 22. So, if you go based on the overall rankings, that's like jumping almost a full round ahead of where these guys should go.
So you got to think. So if we can get out of the first round without, say, Pickens being drafted, how long do you wait if you're Cleveland tomorrow? Do you wait to 44, or do you try to jump up earlier in the second to grab that guy, knowing he's like the only one left?
I think you got to think about jumping up because you got teams like the Bears that are going to pick earlier than us in that round. The Colts pick before us in that round. The Falcons pick before us in that round. I know they already taken one wide receiver, but we've talked about who they have, and it's not great. So there's a couple teams that are before you. It might take moving up to 35, 36 before one of those teams if they're there. And Pickens is still sitting there at 35, and the Texans and the Bears are coming around that you might need to jump up to try to snag somebody.
Kind of a JOK thing where, okay, we waited. We can't wait any longer. Now we make our move. Right. Instead of jumping up 20 picks, we jump up 10. Mm-hmm. It's cheaper. I just don't know if you don't make the move.
Oh, we just got to trade.
Oh.
The Buffalo Bills are on the clock now at 23. The Ravens.
We were sticking around for the Ravens. They traded out.
What are the Ravens? Ravens are just like, we don't want anybody this year. We just take Kyle Hamilton. We'll trade.
Their next pick is 45 now.
We'll trade Marquise Brown away.
Well, we'll see who the Bills pick then, and I guess we'll wrap this up. The Ravens kind of screwed us here. I could have left 20 minutes ago. So thanks a lot, Baltimore. Bunch of D-bags. But
doing Baltimore things, man.
Yeah. So so the Ravens are going to pick 25th now. They're going to pick in 2 picks. So, yeah, they swapped the 23rd for the 25th, and the Ravens gained the 130th pick. So they got 2 for 1. They traded back 2 spots. So whoever the Bills take here, they were worried the Cowboys were going to take with the next pick. That's what that's telling me. So the Cowboys needed offensive line and defensive line. The Bills needed defensive line. There's the common denominator. Let's see if they go defensive line.
Man, that really grinds my gears.
That irks you.
All of a sudden, Blake's going to be here for the whole first round.
Come on, let's go.
I mean, we're already at 23. We could just go to 32.
No. The problem is that's like
Another hour.
At least, yeah. No.
Man, it was right around this time. What pick did we have last year?
27.
It was right around this time we were just itching and waiting. Everybody was falling to us.
Yeah.
We had our choice of the litter of everybody we wanted was there.
And they took Greg Newsome, and I'm telling you what,
at the draft, at that light, I wasn't.
We weren't thrilled, but
I wanted Bateman. I wanted a receiver.
Yeah.
Turns out, thank God we didn't waste a pick on a receiver because we couldn't throw to any of them anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, we would have wasted him worse than Baltimore did. So
yeah, you're right.
It's
You're
a good
absolutely
thing.
right.
And you wouldn't have had Newsome.
Newsome balled out.
Who's going to be Denzel Ward Jr. and 5 years from now, he'll be getting a contract, hopefully.
Yeah, because
Denzel will be on his way out. Newsome will be filling that money that we just got rid of.
What I was really impressed with Newsome last year was his open field tackling.
Yes.
Whenever they were running those crossing routes, he'd be trailing, and a lot of times you see they catch that crossing route, and then if the guy's behind them, they just turn it upfield.
Pick is in. Now, see, we're moving a little bit here. So pick is in. They moved up, the Bills did, to get cornerback Elam from Florida.
Kyer
Elam.
All right, so cornerback off the board. So they must have really wanted that guy and thought that the Cowboys were going to be in on that, but I'm not too sure on why there. I feel like the Cowboys cornerback's not a position of need for them. But
well, we didn't necessarily think it was last year for the Browns either, because we were like, well, we got Ward, we got greedy, we could get another cornerback later in the draft, but they took Newsome, and I mean, it worked out well.
Right. There are some. I mean, if we go on the big board that I have here available, I know you brought him up earlier. Somebody brought him up. Now I got to find his name. Who is still available in the first round?
As far as what position?
Thought it was an edge rusher that
Karlaftis.
Karlaftis.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still there.
You brought him up. I mean, that was a couple picks ago.
Yeah.
So somebody like that. There's still some good name players out there, and maybe that's why somebody like the Ravens is like, sure, we'll jump back a couple picks because we know you're not going to take our guy, and we'll gain another pick of yours.
Yeah.
I think it was I was listening to NFL on Sirius Radio, and they said that Seattle went into a draft one year with 4 picks and left with 11 players. They just kept like mixing, trading. They ended up having 11 picks.
Wow.
So, I mean, there's times where, getting a bunch of players and then just saying, okay, we'll sign 7 of them, but we got the pick from 11 rookies. Maybe that's some teams.
It's like being a D1 high school. I just want more options.
Yeah, give me more options.
Yeah.
We'll sign them to the practice squad.
Yeah.
The way this is going, there's going to be, tomorrow there could be a real big group of defensive linemen available.
Yeah, that's like where I was saying that the Browns stay put. They don't get the wide receiver. They just have to take the best available guy
right.
at that position. Or if you're not sold on any of those guys, then you got to move back, which isn't a great thing to hear. Like, I don't like that either as a Browns fan. Like, you were sitting there and you're waiting for a pick for them to trade back and maybe not have a pick in the second round. But
somebody, Chubba Wubba Hub, just said Ravens accidentally posted a picture of their whole draft board on Twitter. What a clown show.
What a clown show. Oh, boy.
What do you guys want to do this? Announce the winner?
Let's announce the winner, then we'll do this Ravens pick, and then we can get out of here.
All right. Well, like Blake said, thank you to everybody who submitted your 5-star reviews on Apple, or if you gave us a 5-star rating on Spotify and submitted that to us. We really appreciate it. Helps us grow the podcast, get us in front of more people. So for the winner this year of the free Cleveland Browns.
By the way, this is completely random. So if
Joke's on you.
If a Patreon member wins this, just know it's not us playing favorites or whatever. It's the names were put in a random name generator. We have no control of who wins. We're just clicking enter, and whatever name it spits out, they're the winner.
Correct. But it did not pick a Patreon member, so I'm sorry for everybody listening. The winner of the jersey is Nick Bowman.
Congratulations, Nick Bowman. Free Browns jersey coming your way. Any player you want, as long as they already got a jersey. No custom jerseys. As you can see, I lied when I said 1 million people were watching this. We can't afford $150 for a jersey.
Too bad. That's what they are now.
Right, anyway, yeah.
Any player you want, size you want, We're going to get that sent to you. Nick Bowman, congratulations. Make sure you answer the email so we can get your information so we can get it sent out to you ASAP. Again, thank you to everybody who joined. We appreciate it a ton. We will be sending out emails to everybody who entered the contest so we can at least send you your free Dawgs podcast stickers. Post them proud, put them on your fridge, hand them out, do whatever you got to do. Help spread the news about the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. It was something fun to do for the last month. We actually did this to celebrate hitting 50,000 likes on TikTok.
Yep.
And I think we're itching close to 70,000 now.
Yeah.
It's only been like a couple weeks. So we really appreciate everybody who's been supporting the show lately. This day, 1 year ago, we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and now we're knocking on the door to 4,000. I never would have thought we would have got this far.
No, it's crazy.
So, again, we appreciate a ton to everybody who's been tuning into the show lately. It wouldn't be as much fun to do it if only my mom was listening. So we really,
she was really critical too.
So
of us.
Thank you so much for watching, listening, and supporting the show. And then we got Dallas on the clock, and then the Ravens, and then we will be getting out of here. I will say this: hopefully, if the Browns make a pick early tomorrow, maybe we'll be able to jump on something real quick and just do like 5 minutes, tell you what we think of the pick from our homes or something like that. We'll figure it out. Do you think if Pickens is drafted sometime before the end of this first round or early second before the Browns, do you think Jarvis is on the team tomorrow? Do you think this run on receivers is Andrew Berry's going, hey, call Jarvis, get him on the phone?
Honestly, it might have been why guys like Jarvis and some of these other not that there's a ton of free agent receivers out there available right now, but they're not being signed yet because they might just be waiting too, saying,
you got to think
someone's coming desperate after the draft.
Yes, for some of these teams who needed a receiver that didn't get one, the market for Jarvis just went up.
Oh, big time. Yeah, he's real smart for hanging out and just waiting.
Yep.
Same way with Clowney. You know, it makes sense, especially, and like you said, Blake, these guys, these older veterans don't want to participate in all these off-season stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a smart move, smart business move for these guys. As much as it sucks for us.
Yep, I agree.
So when do you guys, this is Chubba Wubba Hub, hey, when do you guys think Malik Willis is going to go?
See, it's hard to say for that one because if you look here in the rest of the first round,
maybe the
Cowboys got a quarterback, Ravens, Titans. Do the Bucks pick a quarterback to bring in, but that's a total offense
Not
change.
in the first round, yeah.
I couldn't see that. Green
they
Bay
need players that can win now with Brady.
Because they're in their window, why they got Brady.
Green Bay's not, Patriots aren't, Chiefs aren't. So nobody in the first round that I see.
I said the Vikings at first, but I forgot they extended Kirk.
Yeah. Yep.
You got the Giants in round 2. You got the Texans in round 2. I mean, early in the round, you got
Seattle's in there, back-to-back picks.
Yeah, so, I mean, it could be, he might be waiting. Did he go to the draft? Because that would be bad if he's there. Is he there live tonight?
I thought I saw him.
I would have had to. I told you,
Willis
if I was one of these quarterbacks, I would not have went. It was an Aaron Rodgers situation all over again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I really need them to hurry up and get this pick in, by the way. They really need to hurry up.
I don't know why the Cowboys are taking so long.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how they go, though.
Do you think the Ravens take him thinking they won't reach a deal with Lamar?
That'd be interesting.
He'd fit the mold kind of that offense, but
he's probably a better thrower.
But they re-signed the backup though for them was pretty darn good in games last year too. I can't remember his name, but they re-signed him, I know, to a 1-year deal.
Oh yeah, the guy we liked.
I can't think of his
name.
name.
Why am I drawing a blank on Baltimore's backup?
Oh, Huntley.
Yeah, Huntley. Yeah. So they brought him back for another year, probably because he's going to be the starter for half the season. Lamar will be hurt in week 1.
Cowboys got their pick in yet? I'm just getting a little anxious. If they don't hurry up, I'm about to be bouncing out of here.
Yeah.
Oh,
picks did kind of fly by there though. From picks like 11 to 18, 19, they knew who they wanted. They didn't waste any time. Last year, everybody used the entire time to get their pick in.
Of course, Dallas would take the whole freaking clock, though. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Of course they would do this.
Man, that is a team that they had everything they needed. At one point.
Oh, the last like 3-4 years they've been loaded. No reason they shouldn't have at least made some like a legitimate run at it.
Yeah.
No reason.
Could you imagine? Okay, so we're here sitting talking about that. Could you imagine being these guys in the green room that are just having to sit back and do nothing for 3 hours and just wait on a call?
I wish I wouldn't have worn this completely stupid suit. That's super uncomfortable. Now I have to sit here for 4 hours and everybody thinks I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get anything other than just the experience of saying, okay, I went when I got drafted. And then you get the call from your house.
Yeah.
But yeah, pick is in, Blake.
Thank God.
The pick is in. What are we thinking? They need, I'm going to say
they do
go,
need O-line help bad. Well, they did.
And that's where they went. Tyler Smith out of Tulsa, tackle.
Yep. They needed it.
Ravens on the clock. If they trade again, I'm throwing my computer and I'm out. Okay, I won't throw it, but
yeah, it's worth too much money.
It'll be dramatic. I'll just trade my championship ring in for a new computer. I'm like the coach.
You're gonna go and pawn that at the pawn shop.
I'm like the coach on draft day who just keeps waving his one ring in front of Kevin Costner. Like, you brought me here because I got one of these. Yeah. That's why you guys got me here.
There was a lot of draft day talk today.
Yeah, I didn't even eat pancakes today.
Did you guys see the? I saw the graphic on Twitter of all the trades that Sonny Weaver made.
No,
I should have saved it so we could talk about it. It was interesting. Like he traded like the 6th pick for the 13th pick for the 7th for the 6th. It like came right back to where I'm like, whatever.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was.
I'm a Kevin Costner fan.
Oh, who isn't? It's John Dutton. Put some respect on his name.
Right.
People have been trying to steal Kevin Costner's ranch for centuries. You watch Yellowstone, Josh?
I don't. Not yet.
Oh, my gosh. You're missing out, man. But, all right, so the Ravens are on the clock. They've already taken Kyle Hamilton. So it's their 2nd pick here in the 1st round.
I know who they're not taking.
They got rid of Marquise Brown.
Yeah. So you have to think they need a receiver.
Do they reach for Pickens? Do they reach for somebody like a Pickens or a Sky Moore, like you'd said, to bring in? Because they got to have people to throw it to. I'm pulling up their chart
Hey, anybody watch? Has anybody talked about why they traded Hollywood? Was there another other than
Hollywood?
Picks?
I know Hollywood tweeted that he wished that he could played with Lamar, for his whole career or something. He tweeted it out and said, "I wish I could have played with my boy Lamar for my entire career, but I'll see you on top," or something like that. He put that
in writing, but he's chirped a little bit about like how they don't get their receivers the ball.
Right, but I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard anything else behind the scenes, but I'm looking at their depth chart. Obviously, they're going to get J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards and Justice Hill. They're getting their running backs back.
Yes.
Lamar's going to be back and should be healthy. They still have Mark Andrews, but their wide receivers are now Marquise Brown is out. So now they got Rashad Bateman's their 1. Devin Duvernay is their 2. Tylan Wallace, Jalen Moore, Benjamin Victor. You ever heard of any of those guys?
Benjamin Victor played for the Buckeyes.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
So he's their new number 4.
Okay.
In Baltimore.
Interesting.
So they got some work to do. Obviously defensively though, they've reloaded.
Yeah.
On that side of the ball.
Well, everybody's favorite team is on the clock right now. Just
the highlight of this draft for me is that they didn't get Jordan Davis.
Yeah,
that made
I don't like that they got Kyle Hamilton though. I think he's going to be good.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, but we have like a top 5 quarterback now.
This is true.
Let that sink in.
Hasn't yet because I haven't seen him play yet for us.
I know, and I think he's going to play every game this year.
Oh, I do too. Yep.
I think he's playing every game this year. I think if he does play every game this year, I don't want to be overly confident. There's no reason the Browns shouldn't be considered legitimate contenders in the AFC. And I think with him too, like we expected a big jump out of DPJ last year. I think we're going to see that jump. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I think hopefully Schwartz is better. I think Felton's going to be more involved. Be nice. Getting Jarvis back would be I just want him back. I think he's good for the locker room, and I just think now, I don't know if we're drafting anybody.
Yeah, Jarvis coming back would be really good, but I agree. DPJ, I mean, man, has he ever shown on the field what the potential that he flashes is crazy. He could be a very, very good receiver. With Deshaun Watson, sky's the limit. I don't want to, just pass on Anthony Schwartz already. He was a third-round pick last year. AB obviously had his reasons for picking him. So I think with a good quarterback, a great quarterback who can elevate his play, hit him in stride, put the ball where it needs to be, it could be a different story.
And I talked about on this show, I think what it does for Nick Chubb can't be overstated.
Yeah.
No more 10-man boxes against Nick Chubb, daring us to throw. Go ahead and do that.
Yeah, reading some tweets from some of the stuff that's happened tonight. Marquise Brown was picked at number 25 and got traded for a number 23 pick. I am absolutely lost.
And not only was he picked at 25, he hasn't performed.
Marquise Brown trade makes 0 sense for the Cardinals. Absolute robbery by Baltimore.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless says, hope I'm wrong for Mike Tomlin's sake. Kenny Pickett has a little too much overachiever in him. Great intangibles. He's not better than Baker Mayfield.
Well, that means that Kenny Pickett's going to be a Hall of Famer because Skip Bayless hasn't been right on anything ever. This is the guy who says LeBron's not good at basketball.
And the Ravens just traded their pick.
Nuh-uh.
Just kidding. Oh, jeez. Freak out.
I was going to freak out. Yeah. I don't understand how a guy like Skip Bayless has a professional TV career. He says things like LeBron's not that good at basketball. Okay, dude. I'm not exactly like a huge LeBron lover. If he's good at one thing in one life, it's basketball.
Yep.
Like, come on, dude.
You can't take it away from him.
All right, Ravens, let's see what you do here.
Ara was filling us in on Sonny Weaver trades, though, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, so he traded a 7th and 2 firsts for number 1 overall, and he traded 3 2s for the 6th pick, then 2 future 1s and a 7th for number 6 and Mark Puntney.
So that's off the top of my head. Or was it? These dudes watch draft day more than anybody I know.
I mean, you want to talk about a Browns fan.
Yeah.
Hey, I got other news. I don't know if you guys saw.
What?
Local news for us. Hunter Armstrong set a world record today.
I saw that. You obliterated it.
Yeah, world record today in the 50 meters.
Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah, from right here where we shoot the podcast in Dover. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I think, and he got his gold medal just by racing for the team the heat before they won the gold. I think next time they go, I mean, he's young. Next time he'll be in his prime. Mm-hmm. He just set a world record. Watch out.
Maybe Mayor Homerhausen will give him the key to the city.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Hopefully none of the Homerhausens are watching. If you got also some more Dover news, we essentially live in an episode of House of Cards. Our mayor,
Yes.
Our mayor apparently has been corrupt and crooked for 30 years.
Oh man,
Ravens sitting on this pick.
Yeah, Blake, the Ravens are killing us here.
They might trade it out.
Right. I'm gonna go home, just be getting yelled at now.
So they need defense. It says. I don't know how they need defensive help.
I don't know. Is it going to be?
Maybe this is
talked about Karlaftis still there,
right?
Oh, that pick is in.
There you go.
There you go. They did not trade it.
They did not trade Blake.
Took a center.
They took a center, Tyler Linderbaum, out of Iowa.
Anticlimactic, but good. They didn't. The Hamilton guy, okay, whatever.
Took a 6'2", 300-pound center.
So they traded. They fleeced the Cardinals. Okay, for a first-round pick, and then they used it on. I mean, I don't know. Would this guy have been here?
Linderbaum, I'm saying, PFF is saying, is a top 10 pick. He's the best center prospect we've seen at Pro Football Focus and started grading him in 2014.
So they fleeced him, and they got the best center in the draft.
Yeah, since 2014, the best prospect in 8 years.
It would have been a guy the Browns could have used to replace Treader.
Yep.
Yeah.
So as per usual, Ravens did
Fleece
well in the draft.
Yep.
It's just kind of what they do. They're kind of known for that. But All right. Well, we appreciate you guys being here. I got to get out of here. I'm pretty sure Zach's got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure everybody just wants to get out
We
of here.
got to roll.
Yep. I appreciate everybody being here, sticking it with us for 3 hours. That's a long time to listen to just us talk. So we appreciate you guys being here. Again, congratulations to the contest winner, Nick Bowman. Free Browns jersey will be reaching out to you. Thank you guys for all the support. And we will see you next time we do an episode, which will be sometime.